is my life, is my life, my life. Is my life, is my life, is my life.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 149 of Behind the Bench podcast. It is an unfamiliar voice leading this off today. It is Mason Savage coming to you live without Alex Chimino for the first time ever, I believe. Those giggles, that is Tommy Vlahos on the other end. We're here to go down. We need to talk about the high school hockey playoffs, the CIPSA playoffs that went on. We stopped by the NASA finals as well. We will touch on the bounty gate that the Sudbury Wolves have encountered over the last 24 hours. No good team wins a championship without some adversity. So I think the Wolves are going to be fine. We'll discuss. Hopefully Chimino can join us for that. But other than that, Tom, going to have a great episode. How are you doing today?
Dude, this is amazing. I think we've just fully demoted Chim to doing social media now moving forward because that intro was phenomenal. I was in Guelph this past weekend, buddy, the city of dreams where you actually went to school. It was unbelievable. I was there. I got fitted for brand new golf clubs. I actually ended up going all Titleist.
Nice.
So they should be coming in about 2 weeks. I will be doing a video of what's in Tommy's golf bag for the summer.
Ooh.
And yeah, other than that, I saw Brett, saw some other buddies. It was a good time. And man, do we ever have a lot to talk about this week. Trade deadline week for the NHL. You mentioned the topics we got to talk about this week. And do we ever have two really good interviews coming up as well?
Phenomenal interviews that
Phenomenal.
I believe the fans will love.
Mm-hmm.
But Tom,
How are you
Guelph,
doing,
Ontario.
How are you doing? Yeah, Guelph, Ontario. You want to talk about
I
that?
was extremely jealous that you were heading down to my old stomping ground, but we don't need to get into that because
I went to a little,
have...
no, I actually went to a little bar called McCabe's for dinner. Do you remember McCabe's?
Yeah, I may have gone there once or twice. We used
Like
to do
really good wings.
trivia there.
Yes, it was massive. Dude, all these bars are just so much bigger than what we're used to. It's just the capacity is.
It's different.
Unbelievable.
The downtown core is different. Everything is built around the arena like a city should be. And it just works.
Yeah, there's some funny joker trying to play.
This is all time. No, Jim, we already did the intro, bud. You're a little late. Mason absolutely killed it.
Yeah. You think you can start this episode without me? You think
The
you can
third
start
voice
this
you're now
episode
hearing.
without me?
Our third co-host, our social media manager, as Tom
We
just
demoted him to just
demoted
social
him
media
to.
branding.
That is the voice of Alex Chimino, ladies
you guys
and
are
gentlemen.
donkeys.
Jim,
Availability is the best ability. Chim, how are you?
dude,
We want to talk about
no,
availability.
Jim, I'm telling you, do not ruin the vibe of the other two right now. Me and Mason are on an all-time high. I hit the recording button,
Can
dude.
I just log off? Can I
No.
log off then?
No, you're gonna stay on because we need your opinion on about a bunch of stuff. I have no clue where this recording is gonna go, so I will need your assistance there. But Mason absolutely killed the intro, and now we're humming out of the gates. We're not restarting, and I'm not retelling my Guelph story. No, I didn't.
Chim, how are you?
Yeah, Jim, how you doing, buddy? Let's go to you.
Where are you coming from?
Whatever. I'm good. I'm coming to you from home. Yeah. I'm all good. We have lots to talk about here for week 149. Lots of news to talk about. So
Yes.
Yeah, so let's get right into it. So we'll start off, as usual, with the Tristan Ritchie Lake City Real Estate Performers of the Week.
you can
Quick
take the
ad
ad
read
read
here.
too, Mace. You can take the
Oh
ad read
yeah,
too.
this is good. He's humming right now, dude. I don't know what it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to make your real estate dreams come true in Sudbury? If so, look no further than Tristan Ritchie with the Lake City Realty Group. Tristan is going to be your dedicated, knowledgeable, and passionate real estate expert, ready to guide you through every step of your property journey. Whether you're buying your first home, upgrading to your dream house, or selling a property, Tristan has the experience and expertise to make it happen. With a deep understanding of our very, very interesting Sudbury real estate market, Tristan will help you find the perfect property that suits your needs and your budget. Trust his local insight and his dedication to ensuring that you get the best deal possible. But it's also just not about buying and selling that house. It's about creating a seamless and enjoyable real estate experience. Tristan prides himself on being a true partner of your journey. He listens to your goals and works tirelessly to make them a reality. So if you're ready to embark on your real estate adventure in Sudbury, reach out to our guy, Tristan Ritchie at Lake City Realty. Your dream home is just a phone call away. You can contact him today on Instagram or his cell phone number 705-920-6109. And let's make your real estate dreams come true. And talking about dreams come true, Chim, why don't you lead us off with your Tristan Ritchie Performer of the Week?
Boom.
My Tristan Ritchie Performer of the Week goes out to all the volunteers at the Great North Winter Classic soccer tournament. So that's while I got kind of derailed here from the intros, I'll take it back to you. I was volunteering all weekend at the Great North Winter Classic soccer tournament held here in Sudbury. I think it's the second or third year it's run. We have not seen soccer like it has been in the city as of now. With the bubble, we're seeing a lot more indoor soccer. We had 34 teams from U13 to U18 division, boys and girls. We had teams from the Sioux. We had teams from Oshawa. We had teams from Ottawa. We had teams from Darlington. We had teams from Muskoka. We had teams from all over the place come and play soccer. So it was absolutely fantastic. And I had an awesome time. I want to shout out Dino Moretta, who was the convener of the tournament, who set this whole thing up, his whole vision, all the other volunteers that volunteered with me. You know, the list is too long to name, but it was a fantastic time, and I was so happy to volunteer.
It looked like an awesome weekend. Soccer is back.
Soccer's back. Soccer's been back.
Yeah, fair enough. You know what else is back? High school hockey is back.
High school hockey.
My Tristan Ritchie Performer of the Week does not go out to a single player, single team, but the fans of high school hockey in Sudbury, Ontario.
Nice.
I have not seen an arena packed like that for all 5 games. They had over 1,000 people going to these games. Carmichael Arena was 6 rows deep. Countryside Arena, I was on my tiptoes to watch the final game 5. The fans were awesome, and I think that made the whole high school experience or high school hockey experience even better this year. And I think we will keep that momentum going. So my Performer of the Week, the high school hockey fans of Sudbury, Ontario, specifically the St. Charles and the Llewellyn fans. Thank you.
Nicely done. Did you guys need to get a little ladder for Chim so he can see past the glass, or?
No, he was front row, so then we were behind him.
Okay, got it. My Performer just got announced as of an hour ago. We are filming Wednesday late afternoon. Former guest, Katie Chomiak, OUA Women's Player of the Year. Stick taps for her.
I didn't know that yet.
Boys, we are absolutely humming out of the gate right now. There's another screen, not a little box right now, right in front of me. Not sure why it's like Christmas today. Like me and Mace killed the intro. Chim came in late. He was, I don't know, doing whatever. And now I have another. Like, Chim, was this planned or?
Well, we're making our own rules here today. So please welcome for the third time on Behind the Bench podcast, Jacob Homer Holmes. What's going on?
Not much, fellas. How are we?
Dude,
even better.
First of all, where's the John Deere merch, and why do you have a Yeti hat on?
Yeti hat for my billet mom works for Yeti, so I'm supporting their brand. And John Deere, I left it in Alliston. Not many John Deere fans here in Kingston, so didn't do me any good.
So Homer,
grandma's cupboard T-shirt.
Yeah, good question.
Go Bills.
Buffalo Bills.
Well, Josh Allen, here's my question. Me and Mace talk about it all the time, and I'm happy you're on now, with your best friend. If this podcast ever goes under, 10 years, 15, 20 years from now, isn't it pretty crazy how you and Alex Chimino have became best friends?
Yeah, no, I think that Jim, what do you have on this map?
Jim, man, you made a best friend from our show. It's pretty cool. I'm close with Homer, but you two are like,
Yeah, I met Tom.
peas in a
Jim
pot.
met Homer.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a great network of people that we've met, and we've met some great people. We don't stay in contact with all the people we interview, but Homer is a special case here. Had the nice connection with Cole McKay. We had a fantastic time in the summer, and why not? Homer's a fantastic person. So
Can I ask?
I
can
wish
ask,
he was a Sudbury Wolf still.
Oh, I mean, you would look at me after a win. I know. I mean, some of these guys don't even look at our seats anymore. Are we allowed to talk hockey? Now I'm jammed. I got to ask Homer some questions here. Are we allowed? We allowed doing that?
Well, we are recording, so I mean, whatever we can cut, whatever.
Okay, you're right. Homer, 10-ish, 8-ish games left. What does the Kingston Frontenacs think they can do in the playoffs here?
We're excited.
Yeah.
We're excited. We got a lot of guys making their playoff debut. I had a short stint there last year, but then we got guys like Doobie and Schmitty that went like pretty far last year. I mean, Doobie won it all, so we got guys with some experience, and we got guys that are just ready for the opportunity that that it brings, and it's all in itself.
And Kingston as a city, how's Kingston been?
Pretty good. Yeah. No.
Yeah, it does well.
Yeah. Kingston's a good spot.
Mace, did you have anything like that?
And Homer, yeah, your new team, you love to snap it around. Would you rank your new team on the same level as the Wolves' ability to snap it around?
No shot.
Yeah. I think every dressing room has their group of guys that can really let it fly. Like, I don't know, like, no matter where I went, like even in the Sioux, you had Macker, Sudbury had some guys, Windsor. We had a great group there, and then even here, it's all the same stuff. It's just like what Chimino said about the networking and meeting people. That's what it's all about. So
almost like you're the common denominator here, Homer.
I doubt it. I'm just a dumb farmer.
This is your third time on now?
This is interview.
Yeah.
4 pack.
4 pack.
Yeah, no, I did an interview.
Yeah,
it's controversial.
No,
Okay.
fourth time. He was on that time we had the round table. The round table
Also
at
true.
Macker's.
Oh boy. Okay, might as well just, hey Homer, next year, man, I'm not sure what your plan is. Yeah, we don't have to get, too sad about that, but hey, maybe a full-time role on this show can be a possibility.
You know where to find me, boys.
Nah.
Get you a free range.
I'm in. 1,000%.
Okay, we'll boot Chim out. Chim missed the intro. I'm not sure if you heard all this jazz,
Oh,
but yeah.
He's on FaceTime with Homer.
I was.
It was.
I was.
See, there it is.
Yeah.
You guys can't hang up on each other. That's awesome. Well, Homer, best of luck, man. Maybe, I don't know what, I haven't took a look at the standings yet. If Kingston somehow plays the Wolfers, God, that would be something.
Be crazy for sure.
Well, that was the Tristan Ritchie Real Estate Performers of the Week. And now moving on to Querney's Bulletin Board. If you are in need for any school supplies, office supplies, you head down to Querney's Office Plus for anything you need. They're going to give us the rundown for the bulletin board today. So we got 3 main topics on go here, Chim. We have the high school hockey city finals we need to touch on. We'll cover NASA in there as well. I think the big one here is the Wolves and OHL recap. We need to talk about the suspension, talk about some of the last few games that have been played, and then finally we'll wrap up with the Noj, talk about some players that have been lighting it up there. But Chim, why don't you take us off? High school city finals. Your thoughts?
It
Homer.
was unbelievable. It was unbelievable.
Oh, I've also filed trademark for the term unbelievable.
And wow. I don't think we've seen, I've definitely not seen high school hockey like that in my life. Arenas jammed. Like, you had to show up 45, 50 minutes early before the game to get a decent spot, to get a decent parking spot. It was unbelievable. So it was very cool. I mean, I don't know. What do you boys think?
Well, here, go, Mace, you want to go? Okay,
No,
I go.
you go.
You mentioned getting there early, Chim. The Carmichael game 3, when St. Charles was back against the wall. We were all talking about, like, St. Charles wins this game, they're probably going to end up, running through it all and end up winning the series, which they did, which we'll get into. But we were there, like you said, Jim, the same time that the teams were doing warm-ups. Like it's like we were beating some players there before they were even getting to the rink, it felt like, just to get a spot. We had a fantastic spot. You guys have been absolutely killing the social. Sorry I missed game 5 as well. Countryside, look,
That was all Chim.
I have never seen like Carmichael, Countryside as busy as that. Like ever. Guys, even they made Lively look big. I mean, busy. Like that's unheard of. High school hockey is so back. It made me regret not putting a St. Charles Cardinal jersey on, just a tad, boys. I will be completely honest, because I could have been the man or one of the mans on that team. But hey, I chose a different path. St. Charles hockey is a dynasty. There might be there has to be another word, because dynasty, like the St. Charles hockey, they will always be good. And let me know when they won't be, because God, I don't know what's going to happen.
Whenever Chimino starts teaching and coaching there.
They've been as good as long as I've been alive, man. So that's all I got. High school hockey's back. It's electric. I mean, the Sullies are insane in my mind. Like these guys score like they won the Stanley Cup, or they Sully like they won the Stanley Cup. But you gotta love it. You gotta love the passion.
There is a different passion for a high school sport than your AAA hockey team.
Oh, for sure.
In my opinion, I played both. I played at low, like when I was younger, playing AAA, but I don't think if it's Nickel City versus Nickel Caps, is the barn getting packed like that?
No. Like we've had some good back
fans,
and forth.
It brings
but
alumni to the rink. I don't know. It was different. I talked to Jeffy Forsyth at NASA on Monday, and I asked him when's the last time he saw an arena packed like this, and it was actually Nickel City versus Nickel Caps. The 94, 95, 96 age groups.
Okay.
And he said that Countryside, the big pad, was 5 rows deep of standing fans. So it's special, and I think we just need to harness this momentum, keep it going. I'm going to do my best at Lockerbie to keep it going, just making sure that we just are filling the arenas, because the players are better when there's more people, I believe, too. The hockey I saw, those 5 games, I didn't see Llewellyn and St. Charles chugging like that during the regular season. Yes, they stomped us 7-1, 7-0. But it was still
elevated,
a different elevation of hockey.
Yeah.
So,
and I think I said it last week, and you guys are the teachers and obviously teach at, different schools, and Jim's kind of back and forth between a couple. I think it elevates the whole school when something like this is going on for a sports team, though, Mace. Like you mentioned, other teachers, alumni. I ran into some teachers that used to teach me that don't even have, that aren't even a part of the hockey team that are there. Like that's the best part. 100% it is. So good to see.
So we started going. I don't
3.
know if it would have caught our full attention if St. Charles had just walked through it 1, 2, 3. I think Llewellyn winning the first 2 games really got the community involved. It wasn't just going to be another SCC walkthrough. Llewellyn winning in overtime. You had Jake Harry scoring, Jake Harry scoring the first one. Sorry for always getting those 2 mixed up. So Jake scores the game 1 winner. Hudson Crowder scores game 2 winner in overtime. Game 3 goes to a shootout. Game 4 is the only game of the whole series that doesn't go to a shootout or overtime. You can't ask for much better hockey.
Yeah.
Only thing I would change is the shootout. I can't believe a finals is
100%.
Yeah, but
can't go to shootout.
I'll agree with both you. Both you can't go to a shootout, but for 10 minutes straight of 3-on-3 and no one scoring, like, come on, it's got to go in after 10 minutes.
100%. But I think you got to give them a break
and then play again
for another 10,
or okay. How about this?
You go 10, 5.
A 10 and a flood, dude. I think because the ice was so bad. I know,
the ice was so bad.
I know it's hard to book 3 hours of ice and paying for all that extra cost, but it's like maybe go 10 minutes of flood and then 5. I don't know, or another 10, or do a full period of 20 like the NHL does at 5-on-5 again. Because the 3-on-3, man, you saw the same 6-7 people at both sides.
Or you just go 15, or you do 15 3-on-3.
Yeah.
Just with another full period.
But yeah,
There's a lot of
I'm
options, but it can't be a shootout.
yeah,
Can't be a shootout.
I'm on board for a flood though after the third to get a good
Yeah, just like, yeah, it's just time.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
You got to figure it out.
Logistics.
But
But,
would you guys say we are the BTB bum for St. Charles? Sorry, Llewellyn fans, students listening. As soon
we
as
started showing up and
they won
So-
4, 5, 6, yeah, 5 in a row now. Yeah.
yeah,
I
it
do
was-
not want to be considered a part of that.
Hey, I'm
I
alumni.
was cheering for Llewellyn.
It was crazy to think that it was SEC's first two losses of the whole year, game 1 and 2. Be interesting to see, what the mindset was, because we weren't for those at those games. I do want to shout out Kristen Pascal, because if we didn't see her videos, we would have not been at those. We heard the series was good, but to actually see it was like, you could tell how hype it was and how busy it was, and it was something like we needed to go and see, and I'm really happy that we did. Our live, we had 300 people on the live at the end of the
Plus 1,000 in the arena.
like it was
Yeah, I think
insanity.
the content, Jim, and I gave Mason his flowers, but he's given you all of it, man. You killed it for Game 5. I was in Guelph, like I mentioned in the intro, watching, unbelievable, and you're commentating, man. I'm more
The color is
interested.
great, Jim.
Jim,
You're
you're
an
unbelievable.
I was just into it. Like, I was just a fan watching the game. It was
By Game 5, we knew each player too. It was
it was good.
so fun
see.
to invest in something like that.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and there were so many storylines to follow. Like, SEC did have their number one goalie, Joe Gucci, that whole series. Declan McNamara, Tom, who we coached, stepped to the plate
Mhm.
and was
great.
unbelievable. I want to give him his cookies, because
Mhm.
he's got to be one of the most improved athletes I've coached and I've seen.
For sure. I'm
he
agreeing with
was-
you there.
He was awesome. Stopped all 3 shooters, both game 3 and game 5. So that was unbelievable. And then
He went
you
6 for
look at-
6, eh?
Yeah. And then you look at Llewellyn,
Wow.
who had 3 goalies to choose from. So that was an interesting storyline to see. And I think Llewellyn's going to be back for sure, because that at least half that team is grade 11. So next year, a little bit older than everybody else, is going to be interesting. Now, on the flip side, SEC is going to be interesting too, because they're hosting offset. They already usually get victory lappers. They're probably going to get a little bit more now that they're hosting an offset. So it'll be interesting to see what that looks like. But game 4 obviously was a little bit of a wash. SEC kind of outclassed Llewellyn. Llewellyn, you could tell, is just running out of gas. Llewellyn always start good, and then, if they didn't score 1 or 2, then SEC found a way to get back into the game, which they did every time, every game we went to anyways. So that was wicked. It was a wicked series. Game 5, I mean, what else is there to say? It was unbelievable.
I wouldn't say Llewellyn ran out of gas, considering they scored with 8 seconds left in one game, 2 seconds left in the other game. They just had a hard time getting past
game 4.
McNamara. Declan
No,
was great.
yeah, he was great. I think game 4 specifically is what
Lively
I was
game.
talking to.
Yeah.
They didn't really have much jam that game, but yeah, Tom.
The games I've seen, and you guys can agree or disagree, I think it came down to special teams at the end of the day. Power play for St. Charles was
big
better,
too.
and penalty kill in my mind was better. There's just better systems in place for SEC, and 15-minute periods, you don't get, like, you get chances, but it's not a lot. So when you get a power play, you almost basically like need to score, and that can change a game. And that's what St. Charles did basically all series. And I'm not sure how game 1 and 2 did for special teams, but from what I saw, game 3, 4, and 5, Llewellyn on power play was basically like next to 0% in my opinion.
Yeah,
check the stats
no,
on that.
Yeah.
no,
I think
no,
they only, like, to me, I said to Chim at one point, I was like, they should just decline power plays. Like, they were better 5-on-5 than they were on the power play.
They had a hard time setting up. SEC was running pretty high pressure. I mean, also, Thibodeau, Hayes, they were major parts of SEC success.
Mhm.
Kind of carried the load. They were playing a lot of minutes. So I mean that series will
SEC had
go
a
down.
short bench. And I
Yeah,
think that actually helps in high school hockey because so for Lockerbie, we run 10 or 4 forward lines. And it's hard for the big dogs to get going.
4 lines,
when
eh,
you're-
Mace?
when
Jeez.
you're rolling 4 lines, yeah.
Yeah. So I think, I don't know. Maybe that's something we got to take out of the SEC book, but I don't know.
Well,
Llewellyn had a deep bench. They had guys
Yeah.
sitting back row.
mhm.
Yeah, so it was you're gonna look back on that series because that series won't come every year. Like that is it's special.
It
Like
might
the
be
last
next year,
time
though. Those two
it
teams could very well be right back where
it
they
could
were.
Run it
be,
back.
it really could be next year, but I don't know if we'll ever see,
Lockerbie could
you
be
know,
right there too.
Let's compliment both jerseys, guys. Llewellyn's I was a fan of,
beautiful,
and the St. Charles red, my opinion, better
beautiful.
than the gray. Unbelievable. The matchup couldn't
Yeah,
have been better, guys. Seriously.
it looked great. Also, Zanatta's 10th in 15 years,
Yeah.
15, 16 years. So it's around that time frame. That's insane. Um, Also, if we want to move it on to NASA, we were at the NASA final. Tom and I, they played St. Mary's of the Sioux. And SEC have 13 skaters. Thibodeau gets kicked out with 10 minutes to go in the second for a hit from behind or boarding one of the he labeled this guy from behind. But 12 players. And Tom, at the end, St. Mary's scored like a cheap one. And after the end of the second, like we're looking at each other like, man, SEC, they have no gas. They
None.
have no gas. They are tired. Um, it was good. And what did we say, Tom? They had to keep it to what? They had to keep it to 1.
If it got to 2, it was over. Might as well
It
pull the
was
fire
over.
alarm. It was
It
over.
was over.
And you mentioned goaltending. Declan was stepping in when last name. Give me the last name. Gucci. Gucci was
Joe
hurt.
Gucci.
Gucci gets the net back. Declan did his job. 1 cities for the school. Jim, you can say Hayes because the tying goal and the power play because they made it 2-1, yada yada. But Gucci was the MVP in that game, in my opinion.
100%.
He kept it at 1. He had a
He
little
made
bit of
some big saves.
huge saves. He had a little Mason Money Savage vintage moment there. Like he was stopping everything. So,
Right.
not sure what was said in the second period intermission, and you will hear it in the guests that we do interview later on. But man, it was electric, and as soon as SEC got that lead, Jim, I knew it was over, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, it was crazy. Like it was crazy. They had no gas, and then they came out flying in the third. Like I
Well-
honestly, I don't know what was said to them, and I'm very interested to hear.
Yeah.
Because they came out flying, and we said they're gonna have to get a power play. They're gonna need, and they did, and they were penalties, like bad penalties from St. Mary's, and probably the most interesting thing, and again, questions that we're gonna have for this person.
Yeah.
A timeout gets called when they get the power play. With
10
what,
minutes
Tom?
left.
Like 10 minutes to go.
in the third.
So that's pretty bold to call a timeout.
Well,
But they drew the play up and boom,
drew
they
whatever up,
scored.
or yeah.
And
I
then
mean,
what? A minute later, they still had the power play, scored again from the point. Like
you made the point to me. St. Mary's did a really good job of keeping SEC's crowd out of it, basically for 2 periods, right? Nothing really to build off of, a few tiny good shifts, but as soon as they scored to make it 1-1, I was like, hey, now the crowd's into it. And then it was 2-1, 3-1. Basically, it was over. But the timeout, Jim, I want to go back on that. I looked at you, and I remember saying it to you. I was like, they might need this like later on to pull the goalie, like tie it. Like, what are they doing? But hey, when you win 10 and 15, you know what you're doing. I'm sitting here running a pod with you guys. That was a TSN turning point. 100% it was. That saved them winning NASA. That exact timeout.
100%.
Or what was said in between the third. That whole intermission it could have been a performer this week, in my opinion.
100%. It was unreal.
But St.
It was
Mary's is good too,
unreal.
man. They just I
Good hockey team.
Just
no
no weak
no
links, in my
difference
opinion.
makers.
Yeah, no difference
No
makers, but
weaklings, but no difference makers. Yeah,
Carolina
they're just a good
Hurricanes.
hockey team.
Carolina
That's it.
Hurricanes.
They're just a good hockey team.
Yeah.
So SEC wins not, so they're going off to OFSA. But that is it is pretty wicked.
In Oshawa.
And I mean, we're gonna have a couple guests here. You're already gonna know who it is, but you know, we're talking high school hockey. That they are the faces of high school hockey right now. So it'll be we're excited to get those interviews out here shortly during this podcast. But moving on, let's go to the Wolves and OHL recap. I mean, let's just address it and then move on. I don't think there's much to talk about on it. Nathan Villeneuve suspended 15 games. Evan Querney suspended 10 games for the Bounty Gate situation with the Wolves. We have no idea what happened. We have no idea what was said. We have no idea other than something happened in a group chat as per the article. And this is what happens. You know, you got to be careful with what you do. And the Wolves are going to pay for it now. And even with injuries, Tom, like we talked about last week with Giroux, Kanyan out injured, now suspended for Kanyan. But it really kind of exposed that the Wolves don't really have that, you know, deep of a fourth line
Fair.
once they're gone.
Yeah.
You got
Yep.
Price playing forward. I think they're having a cards issue right now or a call-up issue. I think Sidney Reddy maxed out his games. That's why he's not getting called up anymore. So you got Morrow and Price now on the fourth line. It's kind of tough. And they're running 10 right now. They're running 10 right now because Coughlin's suspended too. So the Wolves are in one. Like,
fully.
and you have no Conning, you have no Villeneuve for the rest of the regular season, which is 8 games. Conning will probably get into the first round, but you have no Villy probably for the first round.
And then
Like,
some.
No chance in the first
Those
round.
are big pieces.
Yeah, no chance
There's,
in the first round.
there's
Unless
no
game 7.
chance in the first round. So
Unless game 7. No.
it,
Math
No,
doesn't
they
add
did
up.
it so he misses the first round
Yeah,
for
completely.
sure.
yeah,
matter what.
completely.
Yep.
Yeah. So, like,
That's
again,
a hefty suspension when you think about like what playoff games are valued as for suspension.
Oh yeah, that's like
100%.
mid-year, probably like 25. No.
This would probably be like a half a season kind
Yeah.
of thing if this happened at the start of the year.
yeah.
And
So,
here's my piece, just really quick. The 2 players involved. It's not like it's Joe from the bridge, as TSN boys would say, that he's a random draft pick not associated with the team. Like, these are 2 top 6 forwards on your team. So you're really testing your depth, as you mentioned now. Do I think they can still win the first round without these 2? Yes. But now it might be a game
little
5,
harder.
a game
But
6,
do we
a game
fall
7.
A little further in the standings now, and we're
And not
in
get
a
home
4 or
ice.
5 situation instead of a 2-7.
Very well can happen.
100%. Wolves are in that spot right now. They do have games in hand, but they are third right now in the conference. They have 2 games in hand on Oshawa and a game in hand on Brantford. Right now, if the playoffs were to start today, the Wolves would play Ottawa, which is a team that I do not want to play in the
No.
first round. The Wolves would have home
You really
ice,
want to be in the
but
2,
again,
the 1 or 2 spots if you're looking at it.
exactly. So this next stretch of games for the Wolves is massive, and it does not get easier tonight while we're recording. On Wednesday, they play the Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds. That is going to be a tough game for a banged-up Wolfers squad. No Villeneuve, no Connie, and not sure if Giroux is going to be back in the lineup here. Hopefully,
Coughlin's
no
out.
Coughlin. So they're in one there. Then they play Windsor Friday at home. That's a must win. Like, these are points you got to win. And then Sunday, they're going to have to find a way to get points against North Bay. So, I don't know. It's a little tough sledding. You know, you lose. Now, Tom, when we look back to key points in the season, you lose 7-3 to Barrie. You know, that's a game where if they win that game, they're sitting pretty right now
Yeah.
in the standings. They'd
Yeah.
be in first.
Yeah.
Or tied for first. You know, they play Sarnia, they beat him 10-3, and then they get thumped by Oshawa 6-2. Like, I just
Mm-hmm. You
it's
never
so
like
up and down. There's no
no
right now with this
consistency.
team. There's no consistency.
None.
You do not know. You do not know what type of team is going to come and play that day. That's just
And it,
what it is.
Jim, honestly, thinking about it, love Price, love the Selly. You can't ask a D-man to play forward in the OHL. Like, he has been a D-man his whole life, drafted to the organization as a D-man, and now he's stepping in a playoff game.
I don't think drafted. I think he was picked up.
Sorry, you know what I meant. Wearing the blue and white as
Yeah.
a D-man, and now he's got to go play forward. But anyways, the one topic, I'm not sure if it was on the list because everybody knows I don't have the planner in front of me. We got to talk about Max McHugh and Mitch Martin, boys. Guys,
Yeah, I did have that on the list.
it's equivalent for everyone listening to me and Alex playing in the OHL for different teams, fighting on the opening draw. That is the equivalence. Best friends. They played us in a bench brawl and they went. You got to love to see that.
It was crazy. Like,
I did not love to see it.
I
You
did
didn't
not
love to
love
see
to
it?
see it either.
I mean,
I did
here's
not
why
love to see
I love it both sides.
Where's the win? Where's the win situation for Mitch Martin, in my opinion?
Oh, you want me to answer this?
Sure.
Max McHugh, who's been on our graphics everywhere, love the guy, just signed too. He could have been a performer. Totally forgot about that. He challenged everybody a couple weeks ago on Kitchener. There's the Almost Friday pick that we posted saying, I'll take down all of you. Mitch has been hurt the last 3-4 months. First game back in the lineup, probably goes into the locker room after warmups and said, don't worry, boys. I'm taking care of Max tonight. You're telling me that doesn't build a relationship with your team and your boys again, that I'm back in the lineup, we're going on a run, I'll fight my best friend. That is nails in my opinion.
I think my opinion may be skewed if Mitch Martin won.
Yes,
but he did
fair,
not win.
dude, but he tried, man. He probably did better than anybody else on his team would. But I don't
Fair
know.
enough.
We won't know unless another guy went him. But dude, I think it's worth more that he's so close with him that he went him, rather than some random. Rather than Mitch saying, "Hey man, I'm friends with him. Like, you want to fight him? Like, I party with him in the summer at Sudbury." Like, no. Once you go him, okay, I'll go him. And Max agreed to it. I think that's awesome too. He's like, "Hey, okay, yeah, I challenged your bench a couple weeks ago, whenever
Well, he
it
didn't
was."
have much of a choice. He dropped his gloves and
Okay, but here's the other point.
came after him. So
Max didn't drop his gloves because I believe he would have got suspended if he was the one to drop them first, because he was maxed out on his fights already as like an instigator. So he waited.
I know, but it took him a second to
yeah,
take
because
him off
Jim, if you watch the video, he looked at the ref and said, "Hey, you seeing this? He's coming after me. I'm like low self-defense right now." And that's why he didn't get suspended.
All I know is that Max McHugh caught him on the button. Oh
yeah.
my God.
Oh
he
yeah.
caught him on the button.
Yeah.
He caught Mitch like right on the chin and he dropped. Like, I don't know. It was just, yeah, I get what you're saying, Tom. I get what you're saying. I think for Mitch, it was big, and I don't know. Can anyone be riding higher than Max McHugh right now? He just
No. Dummied your best
that.
friend.
He signed like,
NHL
and
deal.
We
Yeah.
talk about the size difference. Like, Mitch is like much bigger than Max.
Yeah.
So,
But I don't know if Mitch has fought yet in the O. Maybe once or twice.
yeah, he has. Oh yeah,
Yeah, he has. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
And he fought at Detroit camp. He
Okay.
pumped some guy at Detroit. He could fight. He could
Okay.
fight. That's why I was kind of shocked. But also his first game back. So
You guys are praising Max this and that, but let's see this summer if he can make a 3-footer.
Yep.
That's all I really care about with Max McHugh.
yeah, absolutely.
Talk about the content this past week, though. I couldn't believe that video when I got that sent to me. Couldn't believe
I
my
couldn't
eyes.
believe it. Couldn't believe it. Stunned.
Yeah, Jim,
Stunned.
maybe me and you one day when we play in the O or Second Life, we'll go at each other.
Yeah. No, for sure. We'll see how that goes. Okay. Anything else on the OHL, guys?
I just have one more question. I asked Jacob Burden probably a week ago. Tell me something nice about the Sudbury Wolves goaltending situation. I think we have 3 good goalies. I just don't know which guys our starter game one. Do you guys feel confident naming one right now?
No,
I do.
no, I don't. Jim, I'm
There's
shocked.
only one in my opinion.
You have out
Chucky.
note? No,
No.
it's
To me, it's Vandenberg. As
Vandenberg.
of right now, it's Vandenberg. If it got into my head, I had to choose a starter today. It's Vandenberg, and I would almost go as far as to say that Krawchuk's backing him up.
Whoa, Jim, buddy. I get where you're coming from. I do.
And I know you
I
may
know.
not like to hear that, but can we get Jakob Vondras to like some 7 days in Utopia type thing? Let's get him somewhere where he can find his game again, because right now it's just not it.
Yeah,
It's
but
just
Jim,
not it right now.
here's the difference of my answer and yours. I'm fully agreeing with you. As why I'm not as confident. I think Vondras has the ability to get really hot, and it's his net, and no one's even coming close to it. Like, he has so much more, like, better, like, raw talent, in my opinion. But he's
Higher
just
ceiling.
higher ceiling. Thank you. I was looking for something there. He's just not.
Oh yeah,
he's lacking
drafted.
Yeah, I know, Jimmy's lacking the confidence. If that comes back somehow, we've been wanting it for the last couple months. I think he's the guy. But he's got 8 games to figure it out, and I really hope he does. That's just my opinion. He's better than the other two, but if his confidence level is not there, you cannot put him in the net.
Here's what I'd like to see. If they give Krawchuk another chance, one, it's his last chance. 2, he's got to steal. Like, that game he plays, it's a must steal. He's got to steal the game, and they will ride him till the cows come home. Like this, like, I think they got to give him one more chance. I'm not sold on either of the two goalies
Yeah, it's
that have been
scary.
in the lineup. I
It's
think
scary.
you have to give Krawchuk another chance.
Mace,
You have to.
what a great question. 'cause
Even
now-
last year, they rolled with Brassard, where Krawchuk probably should have started a game that series.
yeah.
So, like, I think Krawchuk should get at least one of these 8 games in him. I would even throw him against a suit tonight. Whatever.
Mhm. It also
See if
comes
he can
down
steal
to,
you
and
one.
I said it a couple episodes ago, it's how the team performs in front of certain goalies. They could be playing better in front of Vandenberg than they do in Vondras. Jim, you were a former player, man. You get, like, I tend to be like played better in front of some goalies. I'm not going to name names, but I was like, hey, I have him in net, I can cheat a little bit. But if I have so-and-so in net, I'm playing more a little defensively responsible. Like, so it all depends on, I guess, maybe the coaching staff or how the team performs in front of whatever goalie's going to be in net. It all depends.
It does.
So it could be anyone, which is scary. But I don't mind your answer with Vandenberg right now. I do not. I'm going to agree with you there. But all I'm saying is, if Vondras somehow gets his confidence back, which we've been hoping that he does, I think it's his net.
If he gets his confidence back, then yes, like 100%, he's the guy.
I'm with
It's
you.
just
I'm
right
with
now, like,
You can't
man,
play him.
Let's
You can't play him,
figure it out.
Chim. You can't play him right now. You
Poor
can't.
guy, like, and you can tell he's got the yips right now.
Mm-hmm.
That first goal against Barrie, that's not hockey. That's someone who's got the yips.
Yep.
That's like me shanking on the golf course.
For sure, hitting me when I'm directly right beside you.
That's
90
like
degrees.
Ryder Johnson's chipping woes. He hasn't been able to chip a golf ball in 4 years. It's
Mhm.
tragic. We may have to do a 24/7 on that. He can't chip a golf ball. He can't, for the life of him, chip a golf ball.
So
Right
are
now,
you
for
saying?
Vondras, he can't see a puck.
Chim, you're killing me. It's true, man. I know. And as a fan in our seats watching
Mayu's
these
gonna be
games,
all over me for this, but I'm just.
oh, it's fine. I'll
it's
defend
the
you.
It's the way I'm seeing it right
Jim,
now.
I said, listen to me. As a fan in our seats,
I'd even throw a Galton. Might as well give Galton a chance. We have nothing right
okay,
now.
calm. Let me finish my thought. When we're in our seats watching, or you're at home watching the away games, how do you feel when shots start hitting the net? Do you feel like, do you feel nervous?
Every
Or
shot's you're
Do you feel-
nervous.
see, as a fan, that can't happen. That cannot happen. That brings me back to my dark days of Jack Campbell as a Leaf. That brings me back to like point shots that I'm worried that it's going to find a way in. Jim, it's not a good feeling. It's not, and hopefully they can figure it out before game 1 of the playoffs. That's all you got to do is hope at this time.
If I'm thinking about, I mean, we're locked in on this year, but like next year, you know, if I'm a scout or if I'm GM Papineau, your number one priority is drafting a goaltender. I'm drafting a goaltender, whatever pick we have. I'll take the best goaltender in the draft. I'd be marking our name. I'd be scratching this guy's name, highlighting this guy's name, Mateo Bates. I
I'd
don't
be
know if
trading.
he's the best goalie.
He
I
is,
don't know if
Jim.
he's the best goalie in the draft,
He is.
but
He is.
I would. It makes so much sense to take that kid. So I hope they do for net.
I have
for
insider
years to
knowledge
come.
that he is, and I would trade down to get him, Jim, as well. Might as well. You're to have 1504s. Might as well trade one of them to trade down.
Yeah. So
Like,
we're at. We'll see what happens. There's 8 games left. You know, I'm hoping. Peterborough fans were like this. Heading into the playoffs because they were not good. Heading into the playoffs.
no, they're midway. They're midway.
We were. Remember how pumped we were that the Wolves got
Peterborough
in the first round.
Yeah, and
Sound.
we always forget that these guys are kids. They're young. Anything can happen.
Yes.
Special
Anything
teams,
can happen.
goalie gets hot. You hit 9 post, whatever it is.
Junior
Whatever.
hockey.
Junior hockey, bud. Anything can happen. Just got to get to the dance. So maybe in a couple weeks, Chip, when playoffs start, none of this will even matter that we're talking about this.
So is now with the suspensions, with everything going on, the goaltending situation, is the goal of Easter Conference final still attainable?
100%.
Yes.
Or is the goal just to get past the
Jim,
round?
Jim, the 2 guys we named, love them both. Very valuable. Are they any of the big dogs? Any of them?
No.
Those 3 guys that do play most of the time on the same line, they've split them up, probably will be on the same line now. They can single-handedly win you 3 rounds. Dead serious. 3 first-round draft picks in NHL. Goyette was just a second rounder. I'm going to call him a first just for this. Easily win you 3 rounds to get to the Eastern Conference. I'm dead serious. If they're healthy and going and motivated and, taking short shifts, all this stuff, scoring on power plays, they will win. First round, Jim, I'm not worried. Skill alone, you could have, 1 or 2 of the D-men could be hurt with an injury, and I think they'd still win. They're loaded. They're loaded. And the East isn't that good, Jim, with who they're going to play in the first round, in my opinion. It might take 6-7 games, but skill will always win you a playoff round or 2, at least.
I do not want to play Mississauga or North Bay or in Ottawa.
The only one I'm worried about is North Bay, but still, skill can only take you so far, Chim. But at the same time, I think it can win you a round or 2 until these guys are back or whatever. That's just my opinion.
Just to put it in to perspective, the Brantford Bulldogs are first in the East with 76 points. That would make them 5th in the West.
And
so, just want to
they traded their best D-man to Saginaw.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
You want to talk about glue? I assume they got lots of it in that room, and they're playing
of glue.
They're playing for each other. Yeah.
Crazy. Okay, let's go to the Noj here quick. Timmins, Hearst, Powassan are your top 3 in the East. Blind River, all 3 of those teams clinched playoffs. Blind River and Greater Sudbury Cubs clinched the West. BR in first, Cubs in second, and the 2 T-Birds in third. So that is your NOJHL standings update. And with that, we will go to our interview portion of the podcast. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by one of the faces of the Cards hockey. He dominated the high school hockey scene for the past 3 years, scoring a total of 124 points in 69 games. To boot, he is a 3-time city champion, 1-time NASA champion, scored multiple clutch goals during their historic run this year. please welcome Jake Hazy B Hayes to the BTB podcast. How are we doing?
Thanks, boys. It's good to have. Awesome. Glad to be here.
Awesome. Good stuff, bro. We're excited to have you here.
Hayes, I got first question right out of the gate. I've been seeing on the socials, all the lives, King Hayes, the nickname. Where did that come about?
I knew this one was coming. I knew it. But okay, so it's a bit of a long story here, so stay with me. But so I don't know if you guys know who Conor McGregor is. I'm pretty sure you do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we beat Llewellyn in the first game, we got some pretty sick pictures of us, me selling after I scored, and I decided to go in the caption and write "Surprise, surprise, MFers, the king is back," like McGregor's quote there after he beat Jose Aldo. Because I love McGregor, like I'm a huge McGregor guy, right? So then, I saw that. I was like, oh, it's got to be the caption. So then I posted it, and immediately people start texting me, "Oh, you're so arrogant, man, blah, blah." And I didn't mean to come off as arrogant. I was just putting that because McGregor said it, right? Yeah, I know. It's the stupidest thing. But I was like, all right, okay, whatever. So then I changed it because I was like, hey, I don't want to come off as arrogant, right? And I guess one of the kids on our team there came to practice. "Oh, what's up, King? What's going on, King? Here's your throne, blah, blah, blah." Like nonstop, like it didn't stop for weeks. So I'm like, when's this gonna end? Like, when is this gonna end? It never ended. So it's just been an ongoing thing since the start of the year, since that Instagram caption.
Wow, and it's stuck. King Hayes is stuck. That is
It's fitting, man. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. Well, we're happy to have you on here, Hazy. We owed you the pod interview. You called your shot. He said, if you boys come back, we'll have you on the pod. And all you wrote was bet, and then we didn't chat until you guys won, and you hit us with the DM.
Yeah, I know.
Was it ever a doubt? So was it ever a doubt, Hazy? You tell us.
No, you know what? I'll be honest with you. This is gonna sound horrible, but going into the series, I thought like, okay, we're playing Llewellyn. Horizon was supposed to be the team here, right? And they just upset Horizon. So I'm like, okay, whatever. We got this one in the bag. And I actually said to my cousin before the series, I said, I don't want to win in Carmichael because I don't like that rink. We ended up going there down 2-0. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not good at all. Whatever. I was like, oh, why did I say that? Like now we're in game 3 down 2-0. Barn's packed, right? And I think Micheludi brought the trophy in because if they won, they would have got the trophy there. And I told Micheludi, I said, you keep that in the room and give me the keys because it's not coming out. And then from there, my mindset changed. Like, if we have to go. We have to go. And then we went from there. So.
Unreal, man. Yeah, we'll dive in. We'll try and go game by game here into the cities, but just a couple more before we get into it. I mean, 3 in a row. Talk about hell of a high school run here for you. 3 in a row. How does it feel like? How on top of the world do you feel right now?
Oh, I don't know. The last week has been pretty sick. Like we obviously won NASA last night, so that was insane because last year we blew it, right? St. Mary's in overtime. So that was like extra sweet because we beat those guys. But no, it's unreal, man. Like to do it with all the guys that we did it with, especially like grade 10 year, we had a pretty special group. Like I think we could have ended up winning OFSA, but since there was COVID, we didn't have that. But yeah, no, the last 2 years especially, like I felt like I've carried a bigger load than my grade 10 year because I had more ice time and more opportunity.
Yeah.
So no, I thought that was pretty sick. But no, it's crazy, man. I did not expect coming to high school to have this feeling. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no doubt. Oh, it's sick.
And Hayes, I got to ask you this now. So we talked about it briefly. As soon as the BTB podcast came to the rink for game 3, you guys basically haven't lost since we've been there. So what happened for games 1 and 2 city finals against Llewellyn? Like, obviously me and Alex weren't in the building, but if you, why did those games, kind of not go your way?
I think our team came in a little too like we're gonna walk in the series and dominate, right?
Yeah.
Kind of typical. Like, you know, we've won the last 2 years and we didn't think that they should have been there, but they definitely deserve to have been there. And a lot of credit goes to Ritchie and Vendeman for what they did this year with that team. Like, just flip that program right around. So it's good on those boys. But no, we came in too arrogant, I think, and too nonchalant. And we had a really quick start in game one, scored 2 goals in 27 seconds or something like that. And then we just said, okay, well, we're up. This is going to be a quick series. We're up 2-0. And then we ended up not skating the rest of the game and kind of bit us. So I don't know. It was that one was tough to swallow after we lost that one. And then game 2, I thought we played better. They got a lucky bounce with 8 seconds left. Perfect. Guy scored a lucky goal in front. And then, yeah, lucky overtime winner, kind of squeaked through Declan's pads. But yeah, no. After that, though, we went. So.
Yeah, no doubt. It was insane. I mean, that game 3, Carmichael jammed. You know, what was the message Z and that Zanatta and the staff had to say to you boys heading into game 3?
Basically just said, like, let them make the mistake. I think we were making too many mistakes and we were getting in our own head. Especially, you know, coming in a little too arrogant, I think. But no, it was kind of, they were like, I don't know, like they would throw the first punch and we wouldn't retaliate. Like, that's the mistakes that we got to look for, right? And once we started doing that, I think we started to become more successful. We actually ended up watching film for game 3, 4, and 5. So I think that helped a lot because our defensive zone wasn't great. So they did that for us. And no, I'm superstitious, so we kept doing it and kept doing everything the same in the last 3 games, and it went good. So
yeah, no doubt.
And I mean, game 3, they scored late. I think Chim's phone was going to blow up of how many people we had on the live that day. I mean, it was great for our content, but what was the message? Them scoring with 4, 5, 6 seconds left, and then going 10 minutes scoreless
Straight
overtime.
OT, no flood, just straight
no
to
nothing.
OT.
Like what was said in between? You know, the tying
I was-
goal, backs against the wall. I mean, if they ended in overtime, you guys get swept, which would have been nuts.
Yeah, no, Zanatta just basically told us, like, boys, like, just settle down. Like, I think I started panicking. Like, they scored, and I was like, oh, here we go again, right?
Yeah.
So I started freaking out, and no, they told us just calm down, get some water in you, and then I think I went into that overtime just going, like, get to a shootout. Don't get scored on. I think we have more, I'd say, guys with hands on our team. You know what I mean? I don't want to
Game breakers.
They didn't score a shootout goal all series. Yeah, exactly, right?
Yeah,
They didn't score a shootout
yeah.
goal all series. So, like, I don't know. I was just like, get the shootout, and then we ended up winning the shootout. So I don't know. It was pretty sick.
Yeah, and you scored in both your shootout attempts. I mean, both sick moves. Those are sick. And I mean, some of the sallies you had were insane. Like, they were unreal sallies. Like you said, the King Hayes one. You're blowing kisses, St. Mary's. I think you gave Llewellyn had the little I don't even know, the surfer move going on. You gave that to them in the shootout.
Yeah.
So are those like pre-planned? Like, you see that and you put it in your head, or like is that just spur of the moment?
Kind of, I don't know. Kind of a little bit of both. Like, the one where I hit, like, the pull the sword out. I think that one, I saw it on TikTok actually before the game. I said, you know what, if I score one tonight, like, I have to do it. But it's like when I scored the first one that game, I was like, I don't know, like, what if I do that and we lose? Like, it's just not, you know what I mean, not the silly to do. So once I ended it, I was like, okay, let's go. And then I started just yelling at everyone. I was like, let's go. Like, we're going now. But yeah, that one too. I took my glove off and passed their bench and hit this. I was like, yeah, they were doing it all series. They're up 2-0, and going into game 3, they looked extremely arrogant doing it. So I was like, okay, I might as well pull it out now. We're Declan's gonna make a save here, and that was sick.
They give you some bulletin board material.
Oh yeah.
I
gotta ask about the shootout win in game 3, and I was talking to Alex about it. Did you look at Llewellyn's fan section and said basically it's over? Because if you scored it, you guys won the game, which you ended up doing. I had a little glimpse at you looking at the student section saying, this is going in, it's over. So I'm not sure if that's true or not.
Yeah. Okay, so yes and no. Because I don't know. I looked at that, I was twirling my stick, and I was like, okay, like just like I feel like when I'm more confident, more
You're
things
better.
happen, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I just said, like, if you go in here, don't be scared, do your thing, you'll be fine. So I was like, okay, but I have to act that way too, right? I can't just think it.
Mm-hmm.
So I act that way. It was good. But actually, I'll tell you guys something funny about the shootout. So Thibodeau goes first, right?
Yeah.
I told Micheludi, he goes, Hazer, do you want to go? And I said yes, but not first. I'm like, let Thibodeau go. I want to read the goalie.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then Thibodeau walked in, went blocker, and I said, okay. I'm like, I just beat him, right? So I put my head down. As soon as I put my head down, let it go and beat him. Same thing in game 5. Like Thibodeau dropped the puck.
Yeah.
Almost cost us, but whatever, it's all good. But yeah, no, Thibodeau, if he would have just kept going, he would have had him on his backhand, right? So I just said, okay, well, do the same move and then we'll be good here. So
Love it.
Yeah. No, because I said it on the live. I thought you were doing that same move from game 3 because it worked, and then you fooled me because I thought you were going there, and then you went backhand, which was nasty. But I mean, Hazy, talk to us because you played in 2 city finals before that, but I think it's safe to say I don't think there was anything like this series in a long time. I think maybe last time was like 2016 Lockerbie SEC. But like take us through, each game was a barn way over capacity, packed. Carmichael was ridiculous game 3, and then Lively was jammed. You couldn't get a seat. And then Countryside 2, by far, and Tom will agree with me here,
Yeah.
the
Oh, yeah.
busiest
100%.
we've ever seen Countryside ever. So I mean, high school hockey city championship, like take us through, what was it like playing in front of those types of crowds?
I just like, I don't know. The first thing I thought of when I walked out for game 3, like in Carmichael, was wow, there's way too many people in here. Like there's people standing on each other. I was like, this is ridiculous. Right. So I don't know. I think it helped us, like the crowds. I think I fed off that energy better. Like Coppercliff's a sick rink to play in, but it just doesn't feel packed in there, right? So playing in Carmichael, it was packed in there, way too many people. And then obviously we go to where's game 4 again?
Game 4 was Lively.
Oh, Lively. Lively was packed both sides, right? So that was sick.
Yeah.
And then obviously I've never seen that in my life. I felt like I was playing in like an OHL game. Like I'm not even kidding. It was crazy in there. So like it was wild. But I always say to people, like, if you're not going to go anywhere in AAA, like if you're playing U18 AAA, go to high school. Like no, they don't get those crowds, right? So I don't know. Like that, my best decision ever is quitting AAA to go play high school. 100%.
Gotcha. Okay,
That's a quote right there, man. Unbelievable.
That's one of the questions we had, and I guess it's a perfect time. We'll ask it right now. What made you, I guess, decide to go play high school hockey? And I know, like the Cards program is much different than any other program here in Sudbury. They kind of run it, I'm assuming, like a AAA team. But I guess take us through, like, your decision, and then shed us some light on what the program
he's the man,
like.
dude. Of course he made the best decision of his life. Look at him. He's King Hayes. He's King Hayes, 3-time champ.
Yeah.
No, it's I don't know. It was COVID kind of affected that decision. I'm not gonna lie. Like when I was in grade 7 and 8, I actually kind of took hockey like extremely seriously, like working out. Had obviously Rick Kilgannon, killer. Was going to him like 3 times a week, and then plus with the team and stuff. And then COVID hit, and I kind of just stopped and started eating really unhealthy, and my mental state wasn't really there, like at all for hockey or just like in general. So I just said, you know what, I'm gonna go play. Like it was just skates, right? During COVID, there was no teams. So Zanatta told me, he's like, why don't you come out for a skate? Like you're a good young player, whatever. So okay, so there's guys like Jordy Fott out there, Cole Molyneux, all those guys, right? And I was like, okay, like this is pretty good hockey. And the fact that I'm in grade 9 and like these guys are absolutely walking me right now, like this is pretty insane that they want me out here, right? So I went out there, and Micker pulled me aside when I was in grade 9. He goes, if we have a year this year, you'll be in the top 9 100%. He's like, you might not get much ice time because you're grade 9, but you'll be there. Like, you know what I mean? So like, damn, that's pretty sick, like to play in front of the school. So then I was like, okay, like I got to tell my AAA coaches, like I'm done. Like I'm not going anywhere, right? I'm not going to go to the OHL. So there's really no point. And I said, okay, so now I'll go with you guys. And then we ended up scrimmaging the rest of the year. And then after that, yeah, that's where everything kind of just started.
Rest was history. Rest was history. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Cool.
So yeah.
No, it's sick, and I like the program speaks for itself. You know, Z winning that was his 10th, and like I think it was like 15 years. Like it's you know, it's a no joke of a program, and I guess take us through like, you know, how comparable is it to like, you know, a AAA situation? Like how many times are you guys on the ice and stuff like that? Take us through it.
Yeah. So usually practices, we would be on the ice 2 to 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And then plus a game, usually a game or two a week. So you'd have 5 ice times. Plus we would have our hockey program at school, right? It's a class now.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So that's that helps us out. We usually sometimes will, like, let's say we'll have a really big game against Horizon on like a Saturday night in Garson. Then the Friday group, whoever's on the ice, we'll kick them off and we'll use it as a team in the morning, as a
Gotcha.
morning skate.
Gotcha. Yeah,
So
yeah.
just stuff like that, which AAA guys don't usually do unless it's like, you know what I mean? Like down south, it's more skate in the
Yep.
morning, but like we skate in the morning sometimes and watch a lot of film. Like it's pretty intense, and a lot of people don't really understand that. People think it's a joke, you know what I mean? High school hockey, like
Yeah, yeah,
there's some
exactly.
teams that probably shouldn't be playing us, or like I shouldn't say not playing us, but like I don't know. It's just people think it's a joke until you get to that where there's 1,000 people in a building watching you play, and it's like, hey, this is pretty sick, and it's all worth it at the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, there's different levels, and SCC's always done it, you know, at the top level for sure. And you guys got to play some sick tournaments as well. Was the St. Andrews one this year, or when did you guys play that one?
No, that was last year.
Yeah,
That was a pretty insane tournament. Like their facility's pretty sick, right? They got the upstairs
yeah,
like track, and then obviously their rink is insane.
yeah,
So that was fun, even though we got absolutely pumped every game, but that was sick. And then
yeah,
we had the Niagara tournament this year and last year, so that was fun too.
yeah, yeah. No, that's awesome, man. Um, Now going back to the cities before we get into NASA here, um, did you guys know what was at stake for Zanatta? Did you know you guys were going for his 10th this whole year? Did anyone know?
Actually, no, we didn't know until after the game. Because we went in the
Okay.
room, and I think it was might have been Micheludi or someone, or Medor, Devin Medor. He stood up and he said, "Hey boys, like this is his 10th," and then we all got like pumped. But I didn't know it was 10 in 15 years.
Yeah,
Like
it's
that's
insane,
pretty
man.
insane. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy.
I've never seen a coach do what he's done, and it's like even Micheludi, like the other easy young guy on our bench
Yes.
too, and
Yeah,
Linamla and
yeah.
Micho, like they're all sick coaches. Like you know what I mean? So it's fun
It's
to
a
play
great
for, and
staff.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Obviously, you know, I like you mentioned here, we talked about the shootout rule going into shootout in playoffs here. Obviously, you know, you were looking forward to the shootout. You wanted to get to the shootout. You think, you know, that rule should change in city finals? Should it be more overtime time, or should it go to shootout? What I know it may be a little bit biased now, but yeah, what's your thoughts?
I think they should change it into 3-on-3 overtime. I think it should be continuous, and then it should be like 10 minutes after a period. You get like a 2-minute break.
Yeah,
Because, like, to be honest with you, I don't think a shootout should determine a game. That's just me. It's
yeah,
not. It's a breakaway, right? Like
yeah,
I don't know. I think it's ridiculous, but I think it helped us this year because I think if we would have kept going in overtime, we would have lost both games. Not gonna
for
lie.
sure. Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. No, no, for sure. We hear you, and it was just like for us entertainment value. Like we didn't want this game to end. That's all. Like there was chances back and forth each game.
Nuts.
Like it was, yeah, it was sick, man. Yeah, it was awesome. Tom.
No, I wanted to ask about how did this win compare to like the last two Hays?
Well, I don't know. Like the first year we went up 1-0 and then lost the second game and then won 2 straight and it was over, right? So like that was
Yeah,
sick. We had a pretty good group and there was a decent crowd for right after COVID. I've never played in anything like that before.
hmm
So like grade 10 was pretty fun. Grade 11, same thing, good crowd. We lost the first game and then went 3 straight last year too. But I don't know. This year, I've never seen rinks packed like that before. Like Coppercliff, I was like, okay, like there's gonna be a decent amount of people there, but like nothing like that. And then Coppercliff was even like decently packed, and I'm like, wow, here we go. And then we lost the first two. I was like, okay, like now I'm stressing out, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it was actually I was pissed off because I was a little altercation at the end of game 2 with a couple of their players and a ref. And anyways, it was just a big like thing. And I went in the car after with my girlfriend, and she's like, "You won 15 in a row this year." She's like, "Just like quit complaining and win 3 in a row."
Yeah.
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 And I was like, "All right,
Just
like,
win, baby.
whatever." So
Just
then we
win.
just put our heads
Yeah.
down, and right, it was like we took shift by shift, and it was good. But that one was definitely the best, coming back down from down 2-0 and then in front of that crowd.
Yeah. Sick, man. Sick.
Insane.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask, we ran into Z and Micker, I believe before game 4 or even game 3. I just found the whole staff, and you can agree with me here, and maybe the players in the room, never nervous that you guys were down 2-0 and just kind of knew that you guys were going to come back. Was it the same message kind of in the room with the players too? And who was kind of leading the charge? I assume it was yourself, being an older guy.
Yeah, like there was we have Rocco Renault is our captain. He's always calm. He's never nervous. He's never too excited. He's kind of just like very flatline, but like get to the point. And we have like Carter Daniluk too, who's an assistant captain, really good speaker. And then we have Billard, and he's kind of like our energy guy. He kind of gets us going. And then there's me, obviously. But yeah, like even the coaches, just shift by shift, boys. Like let them make mistakes. Once they make mistakes, capitalize on them, like power plays and stuff, right? But I was nervous going into game 3, and then I was like, okay, whatever. Like we win this game, I think we win the series. Like everything's gonna change, right? So we won that game, and then since then I haven't been nervous, even for last night. Like just because we've been on a roll lately, I was just like, hey, like it's whatever. Like we're not gonna lose.
Yeah, once you get hot, you get hot for sure. Yeah, and
Right.
we'll get right into to NASA. You guys went 2-0 in the round robin, saved the last round robin game because you guys were playing St. Mary's anyways, and straight to the finals you guys went. We knew heading into it, you guys were banged up, had 13 players, and then Thibodeau goes out with like lots of game left. So like,
oh yeah.
First of all, how gassed were you after that game? Like a week of hockey cities, and then you had NASA on top of it 2 games, and now
school Chim. He's still a school guy.
School guy.
School guy.
Huge academic guy here.
There you go. You gotta put that in.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it was crazy. Like I've never played on a team with that less players. Like we're like, where's the rest of the guys for warm-ups? And then we start counting. We're like, oh my God, this is it. Like we have 2 lines in 3D. This is ridiculous, right? So I'm like, I'm banged up. I'm not even that much in shape, to be honest with you. I'm like a fluffier kid. Like I'm not ripped. I'm not like, I don't really care. It's high school hockey, right? I'm not going to be working out. Like I don't really care that much.
Yeah.
So whatever. I'm out, like even in overtime, you guys probably saw that. I'm sitting in the corner waiting for someone to come get me so I can, forced to be moved.
Yeah.
So no, it was. I'm sore. I'm sore and I'm tired. Like it was insane. I've never played like that before.
Yeah, for sure. And Tom and I were talking at the end of the second. You guys are down 1-0. St. Mary's kind of scored a cheap, scrappy one in front of the net, and the crowd was kind of out of it, and we're looking like, oh boy, like the boys, like there's only 12 guys, like they seem gassed, and then. I don't know what happened. You guys came out flying in the third, like chances on chances. Guys, were buzzing to start. So I guess what was the message heading into that third period down 1-0?
Yeah, no, it was Zanatta said to us, he said, boys, or I don't know, it was Zanatta or Micker. I think they both said it, but anyways, it doesn't matter. They said the next goal wins the game. Whoever scores the next goal wins the game. So we knew as long as we scored that next goal, everything would kind of start falling into place. Then they got in some penalty trouble there, and thanks Zinner on that one. But Zinner was calling penalties left and right? So I was loving that, and then we ended up just scoring. Like mine barely went in. I didn't even know it went in. I was like, "What's going on? Why is everyone cheering? Like he has the puck," and then it went in. And then
Yeah.
I don't know. We did a really good job in front of the net. I found like just screening the guy, and the guy didn't see anything. So
Yeah. Yeah. It's
yeah, it was
crazy.
the message was basically just like just score the first goal of the third, and then whoever does that wins the game.
Yep. 100%.
And the TSN turning point that's all over SportsCenter the last couple of days has been this timeout. When you guys are trailing 1-0, the coaching staff, not sure who led the charge there, calls a timeout. I looked at Chim and I said, maybe they're going to need this timeout later down the line to pull the goalie or, rest their guys. Did you guys draw something up? Clearly, we saw something different on the power play, and you guys made it 1-1 and basically didn't look back because it felt like it was, 3-1 in 3 minutes there.
Yeah, no, it was crazy, but no, it was actually Rocco Renault, our captain. Before he went out, he said to Zanatta, he goes, wait till we're tired, like to call our timeout. So we basically had a shift. We have power play units, obviously.
Yeah.
And our power play unit was just out on the ice. And then Rocco said to Zanatta, he goes, I'm tired, but I want to go back out there. Like we need to go back on the ice. And I think everyone on our unit agreed with that. So he basically just looked at the ref, and I don't even think he told Zanatta. He just went like, timeout. Like, I'm too tired, but I want to go back out. And so we took it, and Zanatta basically didn't say a word. Just we drank our water, sat there. We knew who was going on the ice, and I think we focused on puck movement a lot more. So
yeah, absolutely. Now you got to talk about the goalies here. Obviously Declan was great in the cities, and then Joe coming back. I mean, he was a difference maker in that Nassau game. Kept you boys in and made some big saves. So, talk to us about the goaltending this year for you boys.
yeah, no, for sure. They've both been solid all like regular season for sure, right? And then when Joe went down, not with our team, but it felt like there was a lot of outside noise, like saying, "Oh, well, they got Declan in net, Declan Swiss cheese, Declan this, Declan that," and then Declan basically after game 2, like, yeah, I even think the first 2 games he played solid, but after that, it was just like he turned a different page and his mindset went insane.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when they started chanting "F you, Declan" in the 4th game, he actually looked at me. He actually looked at me and he goes, "I love this." He's like, "This is actually getting me going." He's like, "I let them do it." So he's like this, right? He's saying like, "Let's go." He wants it. He's like, it's fueling him. I'm like, "What's this guy on, man?" Like, I'd be intimidated right now. But no, he was gassed from it. He was sick. It was awesome. And then game 5, he played unreal again. Like, made some huge saves. The one in overtime on Graffi, I think it was. That one was insane. He stretched across.
Yeah.
But yeah, he played an unreal series, unreal season. And then we had Gucci, obviously, last night. Just came back from a knee injury.
Yeah.
And I think he came. I said before the game, I texted the group chat and I said, "Revenge game for Gucci here," because he was the one in net last year when we lost in overtime to Marys, right?
Yep.
So he actually didn't come home on the bus with us last year because he was so upset. And all he did for the whole 2-hour ride home from the zoo with his dad was just watch it over and over and over. Like, it was brutal. I felt so bad for the kid. So I knew he was not going to have a game. And then we basically, we were up We were down 1-0 going into the 3rd.
Yeah.
And
he kept it that way.
Zanatta comes in, he goes, "Boys." Yeah, exactly, right? He let in 1 goal a game. He played unreal.
Yeah.
But Zanatta goes, "Gooch is battling for you guys right now. Now you guys got to battle for him." And we kind of went like, okay, like we got to go, right?
Yeah.
So he played unreal. I never doubted our goalies ever. Like, there were some people that were saying like, "Oh, we got like not us, but people out like at our school. Oh, we got Declan. It's like, no, like he's a AAA, AA caliber goalie. Like, it's not like he's a house league goalie. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, he's great. Yeah.
Which jerseys do you like? Which jerseys do you like better? I mean, I'm a little bit biased as not sure if you know, Hazy, St. Charles alum. I'm a little biased with the red one. Which one's your favorite?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
Yeah, actually, I'm pretty sure you're on Malafrina's wall in this class.
Man, I think I'm everywhere in that school.
Like, there's Tommy and Chim. I was like, there you go.
Yeah. What jerseys do you like better though?
No, it's probably I'd have to go with the grays. Everyone kind of seems to go with red, but I love the gray. Like, the Cardinal. I don't know, like to just like I don't know, we're the Cardinals, like, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of
Yeah.
a football jersey with the other one.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy the wearing the grays. Grays are pretty sick.
Yeah, they are nice. What was the win song for the boys this year?
Ski.
No, actually, this is funny. So our win song is "What's My Name" by Rihanna.
Okay.
Oh,
So
banger.
after game 1 and 2, they actually were playing it in the room.
Oh
Like,
my
after they won,
God.
they had it going. Oh yeah. So I'm like, now I'm livid. I'm standing on the bench and I'm basically saying to the boys, like, do you guys hear this? Like I said it so many times that a couple of guys were getting mad at me because I said it so many times. But I'm like, do you guys not hear this? Like, this is pissing me off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they played it and they were playing I don't know what that song's called. It's like Green Light. I don't know how it goes, but anyways, it's a song. I think Pitbull's in there or something. Anyways,
Yeah.
but they were
Yeah,
playing that too, and that's also another song we play, right? So I was like, okay, like we can't lose. Like this is ridiculous. So then we ended up, going and playing it extra loud after the 3 wins in a row.
No doubt.
Yeah,
No doubt. Yeah. Take us through your game day routine. You said you're a superstitious guy. Do you do the same thing every game day?
Most like until something bad happens, yes. Like I'll tell you what you want to know, the 3 games, like the last
Sure.
3.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first 2 games I didn't wear a belt with my pants to school. Just said we're going no belt today. I'm gonna rock it. Who cares? I don't really care. And then we ended up losing. I put the belt on. I said, okay, that's one. So put the belt on. I started getting an extra piece of chicken in my rice bowl, some Subway, those days. That was one. Whenever I don't score, I retape my stick. If I score 5 games in a row, I won't touch my tape till it's off.
I know. I noticed the tape job was a little beat
but,
up. Yeah.
Because I just kept like the shootout goal I scored, and then I kept it for game 4, and then I retaped it for game 5. I didn't score, and then scored again. So I haven't touched it, and I won't touch it until we lose because I scored last night too, right? But those are pretty much 3 things I focused on in the last 3 games, and then also getting dressed the same way every time.
Gotcha. Love
Okay.
it. Love it.
Big left to right guy.
Okay. I was similar too. My next question for you, Hayes. Not sure if you want to break it on the BTB podcast. Obviously, you guys are hosting next year. What are the odds you are coming back to be a St. Charles Cardinal?
I don't know. It's tough. Like I don't know. There's a lot of options, like kind of right now.
Okay. All right. What's the
that is
plan next?
definitely
What's the plan for you post secondary then?
Well, I don't know if I'm gonna go to school next year. I think I'm just gonna play hockey, unless it's like at St. Charles, then I obviously have to go to school.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's definitely one option. And then there's a few other teams and talking and stuff. So
All right.
Okay.
but
All right.
we'll save that. Just I'm not saying anything more than that. But I'd say there's a good chance to go back.
Okay. There you go. Well, hey, there's no surprise that teams are reaching out. Put it that way. You've really proved yourself.
Oh yeah.
These last couple of years for sure. So it's all
It's all
earned.
those sellies, Hayes.
It's
all those sellies.
Yeah, brutal, unreal.
Okay, Hazy. Before we wrap it up here, we have our fast 5. So it's 5 rapid fire questions. Whatever comes to the top of your head, let it rip, and I will send it off the top.
Okay, first one. Who's your favorite current NHL hockey player?
Austin Matthews.
Oh man, what a good answer. What a good answer. Okay, dream travel
Right?
destination. Anywhere in the world, where do you want to travel to?
Is it called Turks and Caicos? Is that what it's called?
Oh,
Yeah, you got it.
That's a good pick.
Yeah, I want to go there. That looks pretty sick there.
Okay, what's your go-to song for you right now? I assume you got one that you've been blaring back and forth.
Oh, run this town by Jay-Z.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, since you're a school guy, we got a lot of, listeners your age that are in school. What's your favorite subject currently? You can't say
Besides
gym
hockey
class.
class,
Yeah, you can't say
probably,
no, don't say gym class.
Okay. Okay. Oh, that's a tough one. I don't know. Probably kinesiology. I like learning about the body.
Oh,
The
nice.
body.
Nice.
All
Yeah,
right.
love
all
it.
right. And last one, we ask every what do I call 'em? Every interview. Favorite
Every
Sudbury
guest,
restaurant.
yep.
Every guest. Favorite Sudbury restaurant.
It's probably gonna be MIC's. That's unreal. Tim there is just out
It is
out of this
dynamite.
world, man.
Dynamite.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Awesome. Well, listen, Hazy, thanks a lot for coming on the pod. We know it's been a busy few weeks for you, but listen, you called your shot. You're in the pod interview here, so no, we're excited to get you on. Congrats, obviously, 2 big
Yep.
rings. Enjoy OFSA. Enjoy it all. Soak in the moment like you have been, and we'll be keeping tabs on you for sure. But yeah, best of luck and thanks a lot for coming on the pod. We appreciate it.
Hey boys, thank you. It was fun. I enjoyed it.
Awesome. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by some high school hockey royalty here in Sudbury. This person, who is the head coach of the St. Charles Cardinals boys hockey team, has won 10 city championships in 15 years, as well as multiple NOSA championships. Safe to say he's built quite the program at the school. Tommy boy, please welcome Rob Zanatta to the BTB podcast. How we doing?
Oh, I'm doing great, guys. Thanks for having me. I've been loving your coverage of the city finals in NASA. I've really enjoyed watching your clips. They've been fantastic.
Awesome. Well, we're pumped to have you on here. Tom Bum.
Zanata, first question. What did the guys do last night to celebrate? Did you guys go to the old beef and bird?
Well, there may have been a stop on the way home, but it was pretty, it's pretty subdued, guys. Tuesday night, I think that's what in the last 8 games in the last 12 days or something
Yeah,
like that.
crazy.
So pretty tired. Went and had a couple chicken wings and a pop or two, and I got there at 8:30, quarter to 9. I was home by 10.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty tired, and school day, right? So gotta go to school.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Z, you mentioned it. How much hockey in the last 2 weeks, from cities to NASA, basically right away. How stressful and how fun was it all at the same time?
Like, for my age, sometimes I worry about my health during these runs like this, but truly sometimes I'll grab Nicker on the bench and go, I gotta have, I'm having chest pains here. But usually it's just take 2 Tums, it'll be better in the morning. But it is the most fun time of year. I love this time of year as we get into the late February, early March, and again this year, at the end of it, you walk out of that arena, and it's just an unbelievable feeling, and so proud of those kids and the way they handled everything that we had to go through.
For sure. And I mean, let's go through cities first. You guys lose 2 in a row, but your first losses of the year come in game 1 and game 2 of the finals. Like, what do you think happened in those games?
I think we were really tentative at first, and we just couldn't. We lost our scoring touch. I mean, you don't win too many hockey games scoring 2 goals a game, right? So we were really flat. And no disrespect towards Notre Dame coming off the semis, but we ran through both games with very little contact, and I think our guys got a bit cocky with the 8-2 and the 11-0 result in the semis. And you have to know that Llewellyn was going to be. We watched them all year long. We kind of predicted that it was going to be the top 3 would be Horizon, Llewellyn, and us, and it panned out that way. And you had to know that Llewellyn was going to have a lot of momentum coming off that big win over Horizon in the 3rd game of the semis. So I just think we had to get into it, and we didn't at first.
For sure. So, and heading into game 3, backs against the wall, Carmichael absolutely jammed, trying to avoid the sweep. What was your message, and how did you guys adjust to Llewellyn in game 3?
Well, my pregame stuff is all about sticking with the systems, because the systems work. And I mean, it's hard for 16, 17, 18-year-old kids to I mean, they want to do it themselves. They see highlight reel goals on TV all the time, but you can't get out of your own end if you're trying to toe drag somebody at your own blue line all day long, right? So,
Yeah.
sticking with the systems and trusting themselves, and the idea that we talked to them about where we'd been earlier in the year, where we'd been in Niagara Falls, where we went to a semi, we had a huge comeback win against Horizon in a semi in Niagara Falls, or a quarter in Niagara Falls, scoring 2 goals in the last minute and a half, 2 minutes, and then winning it at OT. Playing some big schools in Peterborough and advancing to a quarterfinal there. So we got to draw on our experience. And early in the season, there wasn't a lot of diversity in our league, but we knew it was going to come, right? And so we got to draw back on the experience we had in those. That's why we go to those tournaments, is to be seasoned, ready to go and kind of battle tested.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, this series, is one for the history books. So when you look back on it, like, I don't know, it was one of the craziest series, 4 overtimes. Llewellyn scored with less than 10 seconds in the third in a couple of games. I mean, where does this series, I guess, rank for you amongst all the ones you've ever been in?
It's got to be number 1 now. We had there was a series way back when I first took over with LaSalle. And in those days, we played 17-minute periods, 2 floods, and overtime was 5-on-5. And it went to a quadruple overtime.
Holy.
Side number 1. And it was the reversal there. We were up 2-0 in the series. LaSalle was a powerhouse. We hadn't beaten them in a couple of years. Up 2-0 in the series. Thought we had them. And they come back and win game 3 and game 4. And it goes quadruple overtime. And we lose it. Heartbreaker at 1:00 in the morning. It was a 5-hour game. That sticks in my head, but obviously it's this one here. I mean, the fans, the crowd was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Obviously Carmichael, we didn't expect that crowd. High school hockey uses that ice as that double header time so we can give out those individual awards. But we obviously next year we're going to have to make some changes and trust me, we got a call from the city. We're going to have to make some changes because gave us a little bit of heck about capacity, and that's why they did move the game 3 to Lively and out of Coppercliff because they were scared we were going to have more than 800 people, which is Coppercliff's capacity, right?
Wow,
and then in game 5. They thought Countryside 2 would be enough, and I think we should have been on Countryside 1.
100%.
Or Sudbury Arena. Yeah, at this point.
Yeah. I haven't played the Sudbury Arena before my time. The days, all the old guys that I've coached with along the way told me about these great games at Sudbury Arena on Saturday afternoons and stuff. The last time we played at Sudbury Arena was the last time Sudbury hosted Offset in 2000. And we're hosting boys and girls next year.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if we're going to use the arena. There are some issues there with so many entrances and making sure things happen and security and everything else. But boy, oh boy, it would have been pretty cool to see a crowd like that in the Sudbury Arena, or at least Countryside 2.
For sure. And we talked about that. In Countryside, for any game that we've ever been to, never been
that busy,
that packed ever. There were people standing on top of each other to watch some high school hockey, which was awesome.
Yeah, it's just the buzz in the hall at school, friends texting me, say, they saw clips, your video clips, parents had clips, and they could not believe it. And I'll tell you, it certainly is good for high school hockey overall. There's kids that are wearing their AAA jackets that are grade 9 and 10, and they're saying, boy, I want to play high school hockey.
Yeah, me.
Yeah, I remember.
I
played that little junior tournament with me, Tommy, and we tried to get you to come.
Yeah, me and Jacko. I'll never forget that. Yep. Zanatta, I told Chim game 3 because that was the first one I'd seen all year, and we're gonna get into game 3. I said, I'm regretting not playing Carmichael. I couldn't believe it, and going into game 3, they score with 2.5, 2.6 off that icing, and I thought that icing, anyways, could have not happened. But anyways, they score, they tie. and then you guys win and shoot out that game, basically saving, well, obviously save the season, save cities. Did you have a feeling you guys would start rolling after getting that first win in that final
Yeah,
series?
I think it's very much once we got the win, we got some confidence back. They get deflated a little bit. It's
Yeah.
that. I mean, once again, high school kids, momentum is huge, and there was a swing there, right there at that time. And our kids started to build some confidence from that. It was quite obvious. I don't like shootouts. We a couple of years ago we did 5 minutes of 3-on-3. We moved it to 10. So we thought it should end in 10 minutes of 3-on-3. I could not believe we had 2 shootout games in this series. But when we got to the shootout, starting in January, we'll practice 3-on-3 every second practice. So, and we do for fun once in a while a shootout with the kids just and see who's got the touch for it and stuff. And it was quite obvious Declan he loved it, right? So
Yeah.
He lives on it, and I'm sure you heard him on the glass beside you guys at the end, but he said it in the Subway Star as well. He says it's just me against him, and I like my odds. He loved it.
Oh, yeah.
And I felt very confident at that level, or at that time. Once we got into it, I mean, I would love to have won a game 4 or 5-1. That's a much more comforting game on the bench, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we coached Declan, and me and Shem said it off air too. Like, he's came a long way. Like, to me, was MVP of that city championship for you guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and he did get
won.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. See, check the notes, Tom. Yeah. See, good student here, Z. Yeah.
Well, our goaltending all year, that's a huge strength of our team. Gucci was hurt, but Gucci was back and ready to go. But another day or so, his knee was just a little bit tender still, and Deck deserved that net. He really did, and that's the nice thing about being a coach when you have 2 good goalies and you could just alternate all season long and not worry about what's in the between the pipes. It's just that's a comforting feeling.
Saves you some stress, Z.
Oh,
Saves you some stress. Oh, yeah.
You think they'll change that OT rules? You think they'll add more time to OT, or you think
who
keep it
approves
like
that stuff, Zanatta? Is it you? I mean, you've won so many times. It's just you probably making the rules at this point.
No. I actually am trying to get out of all that stuff now. So we'll have a season-ending sports committee meeting with the hockey coaches. Any new motions will go through at that point. There can be suggestions made. We have to vote on that. So it's always at our closeout meeting. And then if we would have got into overtime in NASA, the NASA rules for overtime are very different. So, and that's once again, if you want to change something in SIDSA, you haven't changed it in NASA. That has to be voted on in our June meeting in NASA. So it is what it is for now. And I don't know if we could talk about changing it. Obviously, once again, you never think 10 minutes of 3-on-3. Somebody, you're going to get a 2-on-1, get a breakaway. Yeah. Like, look at the final game. They hit 2 posts. We hit 1. It could have been over in a heartbeat, right? So.
Yeah, I know 100%. Yeah, I think it was a rare case, for sure. Now, keeping going with the series here, you guys win Game 4 pretty convincingly, and Lively was kind of a clinic there, and then obviously Game 5, like you said, was a thriller. Did you know the 10th was on the line, Z? And what was the message for Game 5?
Okay, so I heard you guys mention 10 in a podcast, and Hazer asked me about it because he's always listening. And I actually didn't know it was 10 in hockey. I kind of knew the number, but because I've coached football, senior and junior, I help out JG and Micheludi with the baseball. I've done slow pitch. I did the golf team for a couple of years. I kind of had a number in my head, and I wasn't just breaking it down by sports. And then I went, okay, that's 10, and that's pretty special. The message to those guys was, you've shown you're the better team. You're playing the systems. We were doing a ton of video study between games. We bought a AI camera, and we were taping every game, and then we were breaking it down, and we'd show them 5 or 6 1 minute clips. Try showing some good stuff, showing some bad stuff, but showing them working on. And Darren Michelody's fantastic at it. Is breaking down D zone coverage because he played D, and just they started to buy in, and it took some. But wait, listen, you take care of your own house. I don't mind if they freewheel in the offensive zone, but you got to take care of your own house. And they started to buy in as we get from 3 to 4. And I really thought we had huge momentum going into 5. But kudos to Llewellyn because they were ready to play. And early on, they jumped on us. It's hard once again. These kids, they're tentative because they don't want to make a mistake. They're so scared to make a mistake that might cost the championship.
Right. Yeah. No, for sure. And Tom and I said we saw the system in playing, and you could tell the boys would go back to it whenever there was time troubles. It was a clinic for sure. Tom, move on to NASA.
Let's do it.
Good with cities. Yeah.
Yeah,
We'll move.
yeah.
Okay. Let's move on to NASA. So you guys go 2-0. And kind of save that third game to play St. Mary's in the finals here. And you guys go in with 13 players banged up with injuries. And then you lose Thibodeau, who's arguably your best player throughout this playoff run. So I guess, what was going through your mind that whole game?
Well, Z saw me
like
and I almost dressed for them.
Yeah. I told Lenny he was going in too.
Yeah, he would have helped. He would have helped.
Yeah, I mean, I got a text earlier in the day from we had a kid up on the roster for 2 games and stuff. He was eligible, and I got a text from one of the boys, and they said, "You know what, guys, we're gonna go with what we got." I kind of figured Stanley would be in because he was like very debatable. Daniluk tried hard and wanted to play, but he'll be good for OFSA. But like I knew what we had, and I just thought, listen, my line to them all the time is you can be tired tomorrow. You can be tired all through March break. Same thing when we were in the city championships. You got to give me everything you got right now. And if you want to walk out as a champion, that's the only thing you can do. And we had, I won't say a grudge, but we owed St. Mary's one from last year because we lost them in overtime in the Sioux. And we beat them in the round robin game. And Cooper Molyneux got knocked out by a questionable hit, broke his thumb very badly, still has a problem with his thumb because he drilled it into the boards. And we lost that game in overtime without Coop, who was the leading scorer of our league and arguably by far our best defensive player too as well. So responsible in our D zone. So I just felt like, Hazer was there, Billard was there, Stan was there, Bobby Boucher or Brady Boucher was there. They knew, we have 8-9 guys back, right? So you know what you have to do. And if you play the systems and do it right and be careful with your shift lengths and get off the ice, get a drink of water, get a blow and get back out, because basically once Thibodeau goes out, we've got 7 forwards. So,
Yeah.
That was when we got through and Gucci made some fantastic saves. I mean, our first power play where we hit 4 posts.
That was crazy. We got that all
right,
on video.
right in
Couldn't
front of
believe
us.
it.
I know. I heard.
Yeah.
I saw your clip as well, and then I'm like, "Come on, are you kidding me right now?" Like that was the best setup we've had in a month on the power play, and we just can't buy one. And I'm hearing the bar ringing, and I'm like, "Are you kidding me right now again?" And so when we go into the room after 2, like, listen, we're only down a goal. Gucci is lights out right now. You got to do this for him. You got to do it for Teebs. You got to do it for Daniluk. You got to do it for poor Regan Billard, who broke his kneecap the night before. You got to do it for all these guys who are injured. Niket with a concussion. And they're all sitting there, and these kids are in our room, and you got to do it for your teammates. And we had preached just being, at times with 17-year-old kids, there can be dissension over a 4 or 5 month season. And we've got some kids that are very strong and strong-willed, but they just were buying into everything. And that speech in the second period, after the second period, was, "You're 1 bounce away. You get pucks to the net, and it hits a leg and goes in, hits a skate and goes in, and 1 bounce." And I thought, I truly believed it. Micker talked about it with them. I talked about it, and then I left the room, and our captain, Rock Renault, and Daniluk talked to them about you've got 15 miles. 15 miles, you can do this. You're not tired. You're not sore. There's, the whole Rocky 3, no pain, no pain.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I love it.
You got to be able to do this, and you got to want it more than they do. And if we got that bounce, and eventually we got the power play and the goal, you knew all the momentum was going to swing. What we had scouted St. Mary's, they were in Niagara, so Niagara's got a beautiful fourplex there. So we got to watch them a couple times for a game or half a game here and there. They were in Peterborough as well. We watched them there, so kind of knew what they had. There was no way we could match lines, not with 7 forwards. But we kind of knew what they had. And, I knew that defenseman 22, I think it's Guzzo, was fantastic. A couple of great skaters. But and again, no disrespect, I thought we had the better goaltending. And if we got shots on net, and I challenged them, even in the Llewellyn game the night before in the NASA, we were, 20 shots a game is not going to win you 2 goals, and 20 shots is not going to win you too many games. So I challenged them in the Llewellyn game. I think we had 35 shots or 33 shots. And I challenged them again to get over 30 shots. And I said, you got to get pucks in the net, fellas. And all of a sudden it just started clicking.
Yeah. And I think the TSN turning point, and this is why me and Chem run a podcast and you guys coached to 10 city championships. I couldn't believe you guys called a timeout when it was, you guys are trailing 1-0, you get a power play, you get some cookies, and you guys call a timeout. I said, maybe they're going to need to use this. Whose idea was that? Was it you, Micker, or was it?
No, Micker and Paul, and Paul had said it earlier. Hazer at one point turned back, and I think Mssd did as well, because Mssd was playing every second shift as a centerman, said, you could, guys, if you want to use the timeout early, it's okay with us. And,
okay, they needed it.
Had a little conversation with Paul Michaud and Micker, and we looked on the bench. We're going to the power play, and I can't field 5 guys because one of them, one of our lead guys at the power play says, I'm gassed, just give me a half a shift. And some of the other guys that were there hadn't played very much power play time. And now you're telling them, okay, you're not going to the front of the net. I need you on the flank in that umbrella. And so we looked at each other and they said, you know what? Let's call it. It's a key moment. We need this now. So we, and again, TSM turning point, absolutely. When they're saying call it, let's call it. And I'm like, with 9 minutes left, we can't do this. But it was the right call. And thanks to Micker and thanks to Michaud, we did it, and it worked out perfectly.
And you guys got the crowd into it after that. For the first 2 periods, it was kind of, silent, and then obviously 1-1, and it basically was 3-1 in 3 minutes right after that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. It was perfect timing. And it gave them that extra minute or so to rest, get some water in them, because we were absolutely gassed. And if we don't score in that power play, it might be 3-1 the other way very quickly, right? So
no, absolutely. It was a next goal win type of scenario, for sure. So Z, obviously it's been a very decorative career. Comparing this run, the cities, the NASA, now the officer that you guys are gonna go to, here. I just, how does this one compare? I know you may have some recency bias, but how does it compare to the other wins you've had throughout this run you've had?
A couple special years in there. At one point years ago, there was only one NASA trophy, which is the one we won last night, the Ennis Cup, which is 89 years old, and I love that trophy.
It's a sick trophy.
Beauty! It's a beauty. But when we went to the 2 NASAs because of the classification of schools by size, AA or AAA, we won a couple of the Ramsey Cups, which was the AA one, and that Ennis Cup stayed AAA. And when we decided to go back to one NASA, the problem there was everybody was AA in the north, so under 1,000 kids. And we're sending 3rd place teams from Sudbury, North Bay, and the Sioux to a AAA NASA championship, which is supposed to AAA Quad A NASA championship. And so they were winning, but they were the 3rd and 4th place teams in our respective associations. So we went back to the one NASA, which I think is the way it should be. And so now Sioux's going as well because we both qualified, and that's on that. That's because of their they went to the gold medal game last year in AA. When they beat us, they went to AA. We went to AAA in Windsor at OFSA. So we get 2 reps. So we knew we were both in, but you want to go in as a champion, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And that's why they had to play the 10:45 game yesterday between Chippewa and Llewellyn, because somebody has to go to AAA Quad A, and nobody
Right.
really. Right. So, I mean, you're facing schools of 2,400 kids down there. I mean, I'm pretty sure if we had 2,400 kids in school and I could use carded players, I could find 17 or 18 hockey players that would be, Tommy Vlaho's and Jacqueline all day long. So,
Yeah.
so, you want to win as a champ, but so Chippewa win, and Llewellyn had a lead on them 4-2. Chippewa wins 5-4. Chippewa is going to AAA Quad A offset. So, but it's just, NASA, that trophy. So we won that thing in 2015 in the Sioux. We went to AAA, and we beat, I believe it was, St. Basil's. Okay, I think it was their last year of existence, and they had a big, rough, tough team. And we might have been Mary's. Sorry, we won in 14 and 15. We want when that trophy to win that when that was the big trophy, as it is again now. It was pretty great year. There's a couple. 2018 and 19 are both special because we went on to OFSA with some really good teams and went to the quarterfinals in two of those OFSAs, and that was really enjoyable to do that. 15 and 18 were the 2 years of the OFSA quarterfinals, and that's as far as we've gone. And I mean, that's my end goal for my career, but for our program, it doesn't matter about me. And when I'm done in a couple of years, I'm not going to go watch and hope Micker and those guys can get to another level. I want to see our team win a medal at OFSA, right? That's kind of the goal. We built a program here that's 15 years of always being in the city championship, winning 10 of them in the last 14 with a year off for COVID. This is a program. It's not a 1 year thing where, so sadly some schools, they'll have a team because they have enough players, and the next year they might not even have a team. That's St. Charles is a program. Kids come to St. Charles to play hockey. And that's important to me that, if there is a legacy there, that's the one I want to leave, right? Is that you have pride in playing for a program.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. And you talked about the program and kind of building it. I don't know what was in place because I know hockey's been pretty historic at St. Charles, but when did the opportunity come for you to take it over? And I guess what was your vision then to build the program?
So I started teaching in 98, and I was at St. Ben's for a couple of years.
Okay.
And I actually started the hockey program there. And the first year in existence, we went to Sudbury 2000 was OFSA. So the only team we couldn't beat, we ended up in second place in the cities and in NASA because we were hosting. So St. Charles beat us, but they beat us 1-0 in the NASA final, I believe. Long story short is I'd taken that team, and I can tell you right now, you watch hockey, stuff like that. I played at a lower level. I wasn't a great hockey player. I was a much better football player in my career, but playing with that team and those kids, they're men now. I still play golf with some of those guys from that 2000 St. Ben's team. They're great people, right? I had lots of fun with those guys. And it really got me into it. I coached in Sudbury in 1998 with Paul Michaud, who coaches with us now, Howdy, Brian Dickinson from the Cap, and Dave Clancy, and we did a AA Bantam team, Timberwolves team, and I was the trainer. And that was a staff. That was a staff. Okay, I won't even tell you some stories about that staff. But we had a lot of fun with those kids as well. They're all like Mick Aludi's age. Like there was Jordan Fram, God rest his soul, Phil Malfarena, some great kids on that team. Robbie Cacciati. We had lots of fun with those kids. And that kind of really got me going in 1998 with that team, and then the 2000 hockey. And then I got a call to come to St. Charles. Brian Sepatelli was retiring. And, I spent 5 great years as a student there. And when I came out of teachers college, I did a placement with Chris Bartolucci for 6 weeks because I went to the University of South Florida. So your student placements were 6 weeks secondary and 6 weeks intermediate. So I did 6 with Bart and 6 with Reno Peloso at St. Francis. And I started coaching football with Bart because I played for Bart. He was a mentor of mine. And so Sep's retiring, and they say, why don't you come over? Because I was running the athletics department at St. Ben's. Sep's going to go. And it was hard because I really enjoyed it. And St. Ben's was a pretty new school at the time, like 5 years old. I loved the school. I loved everything about it. But St. Charles was home, right? And it just, it was drawing me there. So I decided to come over, and I did not coach that year because I had coached St. Ben's, and I just wrapped up the first inaugural year of St. Ben's football, like in October, November, and I came over like November 1st. So the next year, I was doing football with Bart and Fabs, loving it, having lots of fun those years in football. And then it basically Sep kept coaching with Mike Fox, and then as time went by, guys were Sep stepped away. Foxy was going to step away. So in 2007, I took it over. Foxy stayed with me, and Beppy was with us. So Beppy Polano was with us. Love that man. And he stayed with us for a number of years as our eye in the sky and stuff, but just started from there. And then, as those guys stepped away, my mentors, Sep and Foxy, and in football, Bart and Fabs, in comes new blood with the guys like Micheludi and Casey Thompson. Linny as a graduate who played 4 years for us. Pitter, you just gotta, it's in my blood, right? So and it's been a ton of fun. They had a fantastic team in 2005, went to Windsor for OFSA, but it was really nice taking it over and starting to rebuild that program. We had a real off year in like 2006. I think we ended up in Division 2. So the original goal was, let's just get back to Division 1 here. We're a big school. We belong in Division 1 just by sheer size. We should be able to find enough guys to play hockey at a decent level. And then we just kept building from there. And for me, as a graduate of St. Charles, it's always been about maintaining that tradition and the stuff that those guys taught me, right? That's always been my big thing is, you're going to come in here as a young man. You're going to come out of here in our program as a better man. And that's the whole,
Love it, Z.
Chills. It's true, Z. I mean, take us through like the program. Obviously, it is much better than, any high school in the city and probably in the north. But like, take us through how it's ran compared to, your AA, AAA team. How many times are you guys on the ice? What do tryouts look like? How many guys do you guys have come out? Like, talk to us how basically the programs ran from start to finish.
Well, so tryouts are usually 30 to 40 guys. Some guys recognize their way away. It's nice because we have the hockey focus program as well. Right. So I did do it for a while. I'm not doing it anymore, but Micker gets to see. Micker knows all these kids very well before I ever see them step on the ice to try out. Tryouts, you got 40 guys. You do a couple of drills. You're looking for skating, looking for a little bit of puck handling, and you're probably going to scrimmage, right? Just to see what guys got. Then we start picking down, working it down to about 25. But then once we pick our team, there is no more scrimmaging. Very rare. Maybe at Christmas we have some fun here and there, but there's not a lot of scrimmaging. It's drills. Everything is designed with the focus on getting better, making better passes, getting out of your zone. Like even our simple flow drills are all about kind of breaking out. Everything we do, and I don't know what other people do. I know what we did at St. Ben's in 2000, but I didn't know anything about hockey. Like I had to learn about hockey. But I think we practice with a purpose. And I think that's where it starts right there. We're not messing around on the ice. You're not here to have fun. We're not going to play shinny for an hour. That's not how this works. We're going to do drills. And especially in like December, January, we're really starting to put our special teams into full effect. But, the kids will always ask us, why do we keep doing this drill? And Bobby Palmero, who's a good friend of mine who coached the 91 officer team, would always tell me, we're going to do this drill till we perfect this drill. Then we'll move to something new. So early on, we're doing the power play, and the kids are asking for changes. I'm saying, okay, first of all, I want to see 3 passes on the tape, and I want to see a backhanded no-look pass. I want to see guys in proper positions. I want to see tape to tape. Then I'll let you move some more. Like there can be a rotation, but before we do anything like that, let's perfect the puck movement first, right? And guys being in proper position, knowing where they got to go, and that's how we practice it. There's a purpose to it at all times, and I don't know. Like I said, I don't know. I'm sure other people do some of that, but I think I see maybe where as kids come into our program, I'm like, Jesus, kid played AAA last year, and
Bad habits.
they're not very good practice players, right? And maybe they got away with it because they scored 30 or 40 goals in AAA or whatever, but they're terrible defensively, or just lazy, or not. They don't have good hockey sense when it comes to where to be on the ice to help teammates out and stuff like that. And that's something we drill into their heads.
Oh, I can tell.
Yeah.
What I would have made SEC, Z? Tell me the
We
truth.
wanted you there, Tommy. You and Jackal.
Yes, I would have made it. I wish I did. Wish I did for sure.
Bay, we took you for that little junior tournament, eh?
We went to Niagara too, though.
Oh yeah, that was yeah.
Oh yeah,
fun. Yeah.
that
We're
was
looking
fun.
at going back there this year. We're doing junior in April. If we ever get done this thing, we're supposed to start.
Okay, I'm coming on the bus.
Oh, I love it. And the special thing with the SEC program is you're able to get guys, who played AAA or junior. Hayes, who's gonna be on this episode too, said like, he leaned towards going to AAA and then just found his way at SEC. So, how are you able to recruit these guys, and how do you sell the program to them? Because, a lot of them view and the perspective on high school hockey at a lot of other schools is that it's a joke, and it's just like you said, we're here to play shinny, we're here to have fun. But at SEC, it's much different. It's a full-on program, like you mentioned. So how are you able to recruit these guys and continue the success that you have?
And keeping them, Z, too. You guys keep these guys for 4. They don't go back.
Yeah. Well, like you see, I mean, you guys both know there's a ton of politics in minor hockey at the AAA level. Sometimes it's about coaches. Sometimes it's about parents moving kids. We don't do politics in high school hockey. We recruit them or talk to them about coming, and we sell them on the program in the fact that you're going to play 40 to 45 games if you come to St. Charles College, because we're going to take you away 2 or 3 times. Last night was our 40th game, right? So we're guaranteed 3 more. I want to play 40 to 45 games every year. When they hear that, because they think it's like a 15-game schedule, that sells them. And then AAA can be very expensive. AA can be expensive. High school hockey has a agreement with the city. They use our fields for soccer and so forth. Yeah, Joe McDonald football, whatever. In the summer times, we get to use their facilities from 3 o'clock till 5 o'clock for practice for free. So it's a joint use agreement, right? So that helps us keep the costs down. If I had to pay for ice time for all our practices, we're on the ice probably 2 practices a week, so 1 game to 2 games a week. So we're on the ice 3 to 4 times a week, which is significant. Yeah, but we just my costs for these kids, and the parents always they just love it. My cost for these kids is a third or a quarter of what they would pay to play AA and or AAA, probably 5 times less than AAA hockey at least, right? And that's with when I tell them you're going to pay this much money and we're going to take you away to Niagara Falls and we 3 nights at a hotel and that covers your bus. And we're going to take you to Peterborough. We used to go to St. Andrews College. We're going to take you to Burlington, wherever. And this fee, we're going to give you a tracksuit. We're going to give you a hat. You're going to wear our gloves, our pant shells, our helmet, because we want you to look the same. We're a program. And for this amount of money, you're going to be able to play 40 games. And that money's going to pay for that stuff and your busing and your hotels. And your parents are, as long as they get the same hotel we're in, you're welcome to come with us on the bus for free. And parents just marvel at that. And then, we sell the program on. We run it like a AAA program. And we always right. Yeah.
Z, do you have a favorite jersey over the years?
I love the gray one we have now with the bird head. I love that jersey. When we were getting rid of the other ones, we went to the collegiate style. I do love the collegiate style. And we still have it in the away. But when we designed that jersey, Casey Thompson and Micheludi and I, sitting in a hotel room in a tournament in Niagara, like after room check type of thing. And Thompson was really good at that stuff and loved doing that stuff. And we designed that jersey. I love that jersey. I do like the collegiate. There's an old one that you might see a little comeback type of thing next year, with the Cardinals across diagonally. We are getting new jerseys for officer. The officer next year is going to be a celebration because we're hosting it. So we're getting new jerseys. I actually had a meeting with the boys from Skaters about 4:00 today, looking at some sample stuff, and
Nice.
I got everything laid out for next year. And there possibly could be a third jersey, an OFSA crested jersey that the kids might be able to keep when we're done that season.
Oh, wow.
And homes aways and a separate third jersey.
There you go.
How
When
don't
Hayes
you
here,
want to play for SEC?
Jim, when Hayes hears that, he's coming back. He's coming
He
back.
knows. Talked to him 100 times. He just doesn't listen to us. That's all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
love it.
Z, do you have a? I know this is probably a hard question to ask, but do you have a top 5 players of all time that you've ever coached? Maybe not top 5, top 3 that you were like, wow. You know what? One that sticks to my mind over my 23 years I've been in this world, Jacob Lior was unbelievable for St. Charles.
What a talent. Unbelievable hand-eye, unbelievable talent.
Yeah.
He was something special. Let's see. Geez, there's a bunch. The Belanger boys, all three.
Oh,
of
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Maddie, Jacob, who's a doctor now. It's unbelievable. I love those boys. That they all had talent. Scooter Ringette a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And those kids that came over after the COVID year, Gavin Roy, like those kids, Gavin Roy would go through a wall for us. And he had played at Horizon, and he had said to me, he was like, this is different here, right? I said, yeah. And then Horizon's got a great program. No disrespect. Like, they have a great program, but he goes, this is different here, man. And those guys, who else? Bryson alone was a special talent a few years back. I only had Andrew Dodge for here and there a short time, but my God, when he decided to
turn the switch.
Oh, the St. Basil's game where we ended their season and ended their existence as a school, he had missed a game for a hit behind early in the NASA, and they beat us up all over the ice. And Dodge played the final because we got through the North Bay team and made it to the final. And he came out on the ice and he played inspired hockey. I believe he got 2 goals. He hit everything that walked cleanly. And the St. Basil's guys were like going to the bench. Oh, they're almost like they were sucking their thumb. They were so scared. And it was a whole different ballgame. And so he's just, I love that style. But yeah, Lior, Lalonde, Scooter, the Belanger boys, all favorites of mine. There's some
Marshy,
yeah.
Ethan LaMarche played 40. Oh, yeah.
They played like 80 games for you.
Tyler Michel may go down as the best 2-way player we've ever had. He's so smart defensively, and that's the coaching. Paul's coaching, his dad's coaching, comes from like a couple of years, 3 years on the road with us shooting the shit or stuff about and talking about hockey. And when Paul retired last year, we're like, why don't you come on the staff?
Oh, that was awesome. I couldn't believe I saw him behind the bench. I said, you had the kid for 4 or 5 years, and now the dad's helping out. This is what SEC's program is all about right here.
Yeah. And I love that comeback. I love that coming around. Like, I like to see stuff like that. I like when kids come and visit, like with that new wall we have in the school. I like kids coming to see stuff like that. I always tell them, in the old days, it was just pictures, but you're going to come back someday and you're going to be part of the legacy, the history of this building. And you're going to show your kid you're on the wall, right? And that's special. And this crew and last year's crew, that we're going to finish the next decade as we get to the end of the decade. And they're going to go on the wall, and then someday they can come back and visit, and they'll always be remembered.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That sports wall is one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
Jim, you could have been a card man, but I mean,
Woody could have drove you every day.
Woody's on the wall a couple times.
Yeah. I watched him play soccer lots.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. And speaking of the history and the tradition, I don't know if you know, but how old is the chant, the SEC chant? Like, how old does that go back? Because it went back to when my dad went to school. Before that.
So it came to St. Charles with Father Higgins, who your dad was the principal when your dad was there. I had Higgy for the first 2 years, and he left. But it's actually started by the Basilian Fathers, and it was St. Mike's if you go on the St. Mike's student handbook, they have the cheer. So it's a bazillion fathers chant. So St. Mike's has it. St. Mary's has it as well. So instead of SCC, it's SMC. And I remember we did it, and they're like, "This is our cheer." And I think they thought we were making fun of them. And then they finally realized a couple years ago, and they realized this is a bazillion father thing. And I remember Higgy doing it in the gym. He was an old, tough, rough, bellowing Irish voice. And he would get up on the mic and scream it into the mic and teach grade 9s how to do it, right? So that's where it comes from. And so St. Charles probably got it when Higgy was there in the early 80s. He came in after, I think, Father Black, so probably maybe 79, 80. And that's where it all started. I started in 83.
Gotcha.
Your dad was 81 or 2, I think.
Yeah.
Right. So, that's it. Just built from there, right?
Yeah. Okay, cool. That's wicked. Okay, Z, one more before we get to our Fast Five. You're hosting Ofsa next year, and like you said, you're riding off into the sunset here pretty soon, retirement. So obviously, congrats on that. That's going to be amazing. But I mean, how much are you soaking up? The moment. Knowing that sooner rather than later, it's the time's going to come for you to let the legacy go. And I don't know, are you going to continue to help out once you're done? But yeah, kind of take us through what the future looks like for you.
Next year will be my last year coaching. I might pull the Beppy and be the eye in the sky. Guys, I started coaching football at St. Charles in 1995. I'm 54 years old. I know that's not that old, but everything hurts. I have a hard time in the fall now, like walking off a football field and when it's freezing cold out, and then going and changing and going to an arena, and I just can't get warm anymore and stuff like that. That's just part of getting old, right? And so football, I've stepped away. I've retired this year from football. It's time for the young guys to take over. Next year, we're going to have next year's going to be a celebration with the OFSA. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. Can't wait for it. Can't wait for the banquet. Can't wait for everything about it. I love OFSA. Yeah. This will be my 15th OFSA coming up this year.
It's awesome.
So I'll have 16. And if I keep doing the baseball with JG, and I love baseball because I love the strategy behind baseball. But for JG, I just do the pitch count. So I got the clicker in my hand. It's the easiest. And there's no stress with the clicker. I'm just doing pitch count. But I'm going to step away. It's time for me to do some other things in my life now. Will I still go to every St. Charles game? Well, I still might be a helping voice here and there with Micker and the boys. The eye in the sky. Maybe I'll do shots. Maybe I'll help them with their power play. It's just a matter of
where they want you.
Well, I mean, the other thing is, if I'm able to, I'm going to spend a couple months of our winters somewhere else warm.
Why not? Play some
golf.
Yeah.
So, hard to coach hockey from Florida. But we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do.
That's awesome. Okay, Z, we're gonna send it off to our Fast Five. This is what we do at the end of our interviews before we wrap it up. It's 5 rapid fire questions, and then whatever comes to the top of your head, let it rip. So I'll send it off to Tom Baum here.
This might be a longer first question, but what's your favorite thing about being a teacher?
I like, it's just nice when you see kids get it. You see the spark, you see the light, or you can help a kid who struggles a little bit. It's really nice when you finally get to them, or you see the success at the end, like a kid who was a rough and tough kid in grade 9 or 10, and then you shake their hand when they graduate. That's pretty special.
Awesome. Okay. Yeah. What's your favorite song artist of yours all time?
Big Springsteen fan, like Mellencamp, and really in the last 10 years, Foo Fighters.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this question. It's looking like Z, not for sure yet, but the Leafs Bruins first round. How far did the Bruins go this year in the playoffs?
Well, if they play like they did the other night, that they shut that team down. I like that defense. They keep trying to show Micheludi how to do that defense. And we do have a goaltending combination like Olmark and Sway.
You do.
So the goaltending is the difference there. To me, I'm a huge Bruins fan. I think they can go. I worry about Florida. That's just a big, rough, tough team that plays hard hockey.
Yep.
Yeah.
You mentioned Florida, but what's your dream travel destination? Anywhere in the world, where do you want to travel to?
I'd like to see Hawaii. I
Okay.
had a trip all planned for Europe with the school, and COVID hit, and that would be like Europe. I'd like to see Rome. I've never been to Europe. I've been all over Mexico and all stuff like that, but Hawaii and Europe, I want to see parts of Italy where my dad and mom, they were born here, but where their family came from. I'd like to do that.
Okay.
Cool.
And your favorite Subway restaurant?
Sudbury restaurant, Pasta Vino, and Pat Mario's La Casino's really good. Yeah, and Don's Pizza is not bad ever. They got the chicken wing back Yugi style. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. Love it. Awesome. Well, listen, listen, Z, thanks a lot for coming on the podcast here. Best of luck, obviously, in OFSA, and then the final celebration year. We'll be here to check it all out and keep tabs. And again, a big thank you to you for all you've done for high school sports, the amount of time you volunteered as a teacher.
Yep.
I'm ready to do that. You know, myself as a teacher, look up to guys like you and all the stuff that you've done for high school sports, and I'm happy to try and continue what you guys have done. You know, volunteering your time to sport here in school. So we appreciate you a lot, G. Thank you a lot for coming on the pod.
Thanks, boys. I appreciate you guys. You're doing a great job. I'm loving it. I now have an Instagram account so I can follow you guys.
Yes, Z.
I think I
Yes.
started one about 5 years ago, but I didn't know how to use it. So now that's for you guys. So I love watching you guys keep it going. I love the local content. It's fantastic, and then to me, you're doing great things for Sudbury sports and helping show people how good Sudbury sports are. So thank you very much.
All right, it's 4-pack time. Mason Monet.
And that is champion to you, Trimino, please. That is how many in a row? 3?
Sorry, I can't see your face right now. Can't see your face right now.
That doesn't answer the question, but I am creeping up on your win total. I think I'm 1.5 back now, or 2.5 back. But
yeah, you're close.
this week, I think it's another lock. I think I will win again. We are drafting the best wrestlers of all time. Do you have any questions on this topic, gentlemen?
Nope, I'm good. I haven't been in the win column. Sorry for the background. Paul's doing work in my office. He says it's his. I'm hoping to get on the board today. No question.
You had a terrible.
I thought my picks were great, but I mean, I know people don't like me, man. I think they listen and then they know that's my team, and then they go vote. I'm just convinced.
Not very good at this, Tom.
Dude, not my segment. All good. Bench pros. That's where I excel.
Speaking of bench pros, I might go right-handed, and I'm excited about it. But
going
on.
Yeah, you're also writing a textbook. Like,
Chim, the no camera's killing me. Like
it's all time. It's all time. I think it's the first time
we
we're
filmed
going on,
with,
and we're on YouTube now, Mace. This is unreal.
That's a you problem right now. But going on.
It's a me problem right now.
Mace,
okay.
Mace, you're all time. What's the order, Mace?
So podcast, it's an audio.
Mace, you gotta give me the bullet. You gotta give me the bullet.
Tom, I'll give you the bullet.
Thanks, buddy.
I'll take 2. Trimino, you're going last for the attitude.
Okay, cameraman, sounds good.
Out and out number 1. He's on a lot of lists, and I think he was my favorite. Give me Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yeah, it's easy.
Thanks, Mace. Appreciate that layup, buddy.
That's easy.
That should get me at least more votes than I had last week. So that pick alone.
That's easy, man. Easy.
That's a good pick.
Hey, Jim. Hey, we're on YouTube now, and this guy's snapping. I see his facial expressions just popping up.
I'm on camera. I'm on camera.
Jim's just snapping on the side all time.
I'm on camera. Mace, what do you got?
With the second pick, I will take The Rock, please and thank you.
Yeah, great pick.
Thank you.
I totally forgot that he was a wrestler. I actually did. And then I
Well,
remembered.
he probably wasn't wrestling when you were even old enough to know what
Yeah,
wrestling was.
I'm gonna
But Jim
take
back to back.
the Undertaker.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's a great
Uh,
pick.
I just one of the longest serving wrestlers of all time, and he was unbelievable.
And
He was what 18-0 at WrestleMania until his
the
streak
best
got
entrance
snapped.
ever. I almost took him 1-1. You got the back-to-back jacks here, Jim.
Yeah, as I'm looking at my list here, this person, even if you weren't around to see him wrestle, even if you weren't alive, people still know this person, and it's Hulk Hogan. He's
Yep.
universal. Universal. Hulk Hogan.
Great
Great.
picks. Their
Yeah.
WrestleMania was fantastic.
Yep.
All right, I
Um,
will. Yeah, I will stay with aging myself, I guess. But Bret the Hitman Hart, please, Canadian.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Dark Side of Wrestling documentary and that episode about
With
him?
the Montreal screw job.
Yeah,
Crazy.
unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
do I have back-to-back jacks?
You do.
Give me, gotta go with people that people will know. Give me John Cena
Yep.
and Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, it's from our era. Very good, Tom.
Just I need stock names. I could have went somewhere else instead of Ray, but I'm happy with those guys.
No,
I have-
Mysterio was
yeah.
sick.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was.
I'll take Ric Flair, please. Talk about a lengthy career
Yep.
and has kind of had a resurgence in the last decade. Not even in the wrestling ring, just
Yeah.
at arenas.
He's always
wooing.
been popular. Yeah, he's huge. The Ric Flair. Woo. Woo. Okay. Give me Triple H.
Yeah,
Great
stock.
pick.
Dude. Very
So
well
good.
done.
Triple H. I mean, what's not good to say about him? He was unbelievable.
There was no
Sledgehammer.
way that pick was getting back.
His entrance is
Up
one of
there.
the best of all times. Dude, time to play the game.
Yeah. Yep. Jim, you
Um,
got a lot of guys with good entrance, man. Undertaker was vintage too.
I'm gonna go old school again,
No.
but I feel like this person cannot be left off the list, and it's gonna be Andre the Giant.
Oh.
Oh, I wish I could see your facial reaction right now, Mace.
Yeah.
Wah wah.
Okay, I will take one of my favorites of all time. Shawn Michaels.
Oh,
Oh,
Please.
Shawnee
no.
boy.
the Heartbreak Kid.
His relationship with like Triple H, Ric Flair,
Evolution.
so good. The
He had a
Undertaker
sick entrance, too.
rivalry, so good.
Tom, to round it out.
I can't believe I got him fourth round, boys. He's got a bod like me, minus the tatters. Give me Randy Orton. Do we
Yeah.
like the
Good-
pick?
Good pick. Not
Do we
great
like the pick?
Good.
Good, not
Orton-
great.
Orton,
Yeah,
Randy
no,
Orton's a
Fourth
great,
rounder though.
great character in the world.
He was a villain. Like he was,
Always.
but
He
like
knew how to-
sick.
Knew how to wrestle.
He was sick. Yeah. What any honorable mentions here, boys? I only have one.
Who's yours?
Batista.
Oh,
Big
yeah.
Show.
Oh yeah. Big Show. Who else?
Goldberg.
Oh, the Hardy brothers.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Hardy
Jeff and
brothers were
Matt.
I think we
huge.
actually nailed like the 12 favorites, in my opinion.
There's like guys like Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, Eddie. I was gonna say him. He was on my list on the site I was watching there. But I am, guys. I'm very confident. I say that every 4-pack. I love my pick. I love my team.
Mace, how do you feel?
I feel really good about my team. There's guys that play significant roles in the WWE universe, like Kane, Mankind,
Hmm.
CM Punk, most
Yeah.
recently, I would say. But I
Yeah.
think in terms of legacy, other than Shawn Michaels, like those other guys are top, like Mount Rushmore of most people's.
Yeah.
Man, I used to have
I'm with you.
nightmares with The Undertaker. I still remember that.
It was so good.
He was
He
so
was
good, though.
so
Bro, Chim, we were
good.
young watching that guy, man.
Oh, Kane. Kane is up there too. His brother.
Anyways, that rounds out. Chim, give us a little recap,
Okay. Tom went with
please.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, John Cena, Rey Mysterio, Randy Orton.
Wow.
Mason went with The Rock, Bret the Hitman Hart, Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels. I went with The Undertaker, Hulk Hogan, Triple H, and Andre the Giant.
That's a W for me, if I've ever seen one.
I would give Chim the win.
Dude,
This was a tag team match, though, a 4-way or Survivor Series. Harry.
Peace. Gotta love it, buddy. No camera. You're the best. We'll talk to you guys next 4-pack.